Hello and a very warm welcome to Cologne in Western Germany, where you join us at the Lanxess Arena. And this is it. After a regular season marathon of 34 games, 2 grueling playoff tussles that went the 5-game distance, and a pair of semi-finals decided by a combined margin of 5 points, it has all come down to this. The 2 teams left standing in pursuit of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague title. Anadolu Efes Istanbul and FC Barcelona. Anadolu Efes Istanbul preparing to contest their 2nd consecutive championship game. And just as he stressed ahead of the semi-final, simplicity is the key for coach Ergin Ataman.
Now it's the last game of the Euroleague season. We deserve to be here in this final, and now it's time to play like we played all season in the final. So nothing special. We will try to put on the court our strategy. We have a great respect to Barcelona team, so they have great players, star players like Mirotic, Pau Gasol, Brandon Davis, Higgins, but also we have a good roster, so now will be important the personal performance of the players.
Well, as for FC Barcelona, they go in pursuit of their 3rd Euroleague title in club history, their first time back at this stage since 2010 when they last lifted the trophy. They came through a 1-possession thriller on Friday night in their semi-final. And coach Šarūnas Jasikevičius, the head coach of the league's #1 defensive team, wants even more from his men at that end of the floor ahead of this championship encounter against the team who swept them during the course of the regular season. But of course, all of that can be put out of the window. Let's hear from coach Šarūnas Jasikevičius.
We have to play better defense. We have to better defense. We have to be decisive on offense. We have to be extremely disciplined. FS has a very offensively talented team that we have to know exactly what we can give up and what we cannot give up, and you know, be brave.
So here we are then, the stage is set. FC Barcelona versus Anadolu Efes Istanbul in the championship game in the 2021 Turkish Airlines Euroleague final. And as we take a look at the Final Four tree, my goodness, what semi-finals we were treated to on Friday. Just look at that, 1-possession affairs in each of the encounters. Anadolu Efes Istanbul up by 21 on multiple occasions, survived CSKA Moscow's furious fight back. As for FC Barcelona, they had to overturn a 9-point deficit against the dogged AX Armani Exchange Milan side, but both of these teams have prevailed, surviving their semi-final tests, and they arrive here looking to raise the trophy in this championship game. So the roster then for Anadolu Efes Istanbul, no injury concerns, although of course that man, the newly minted MVP Vasilije Micic, fouled out and spoke of his tiredness before fouling out. Coach Ergin Ataman instilling plenty of confidence into his team. He's respectful of the team on the other side of the ball, but he says we've got a talented roster also. Now, as for FC Barcelona, they will come in with a significant injury concern because Nick Kalathis, in his first season with FC Barcelona, number 99, one of the all-time great point guards in the Euroleague, suffered a significant ankle injury during the course of that game. But we have word that he is suiting up and he's ready to go tonight. So here a roll call then of the champions of the 21st century. FC Barcelona appearing twice on that list, looking to add their name for the 3rd time to that roll of honor. Anadolu Efes Istanbul, well, they got to the championship game previously and looking to lift the trophy aloft for the first time tonight. Well, now we're going to sit back and enjoy a spectacular pre-game show filled with augmented reality.
As the battle for the ultimate glory begins.
Einstein feed on it. My destiny ahead of me, while I sleep on it. Searching for my purpose, till the light beams on it. Despite the distractions, lights, camera, action. You can't break me down. You can't take my crown. The rings in the making, right the page. That's showtime. 7. Hold up, boy, you better slow down. You don't want no problems, we don't play. All the competition better back down. Or you get the smack down. No, we don't play. Hold up, boy, you better slow down. 5. You don't want no problems, we don't play. The competition better back down. Kill queens and run this town. We don't play. 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 4. Champion is the one that finds a way to do what can't be done. When that the only thing that cuts diamond is a diamond. 3.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the A.EFES Arena of Cologne for the championship game of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Final Four. This is the moment we have been waiting for during the entire season. In just a few moments, FC Barcelona and Anadolu Efes Istanbul will compete to become the best team of the 2020-21 season and take home the coveted Champions Trophy. So let's meet the players of our two teams. First, Anadolu Efes Istanbul. At guard, wearing 0, Shane Larkin. At guard, wearing number 1, Rodrigue Beaubois. At forward, wearing number 2, Chris Singleton. At guard, number 4, Dush Balbay. At center, number 15, Sartat Shanlu. At forward, number 18, Adrian Werman. At guard, number 19, Budahan Tuncerş. At center, number 21, Thibaut Pleiss. At guard, number 22, Vasily Mitsic. At forward, number 23, James Anderson. At center, number 42, Brian Dunstan. And at guard, number 44, Krunoslav Simon. The coach of Anadolu Efes Istanbul is Mr. Ergin Ataman. And now, let's meet the players from FC Barcelona. Wearing 0, playing at center, Brandon Davies. At forward, number 8, Adam Hanga. At guard, number 9, Leandro Bolmaro. At forward, number 10, Roland Schmitz. At center, number 16, Pau Gasol. At forward, number 18, Pierre Odiola. At forward, number 21, Alex Abrines. At guard, number 22, Corey Higgins. At guard, number 24, Kyle Kuric. At forward, number 30, Victor Claver. At forward, number 33, Nikola Mirotic. And at guard, number 99, Nick Kalathis. The head coach of FC Barcelona is Mr.
Well, a
Sarunas
perfunctory handshake between the
Jasikevičius.
respective head coaches. Sarunas Jasikevičius for Barcelona in his first season as their head coach. Ergin Ataman, the head coach of Anadolu Efes Istanbul. These two men facing off for the 5th time. It's currently deadlocked at 2 apiece. As we take a look inside the numbers, Anadolu Efes Istanbul, the second most potent offense in the league, facing off against the stingiest defense in FC Barcelona. Anadolu Efes Istanbul shooting the basketball better from 2, Barcelona with a slight edge from 3. But again, in a one-and-done championship affair, perhaps many of those numbers can be thrown out as we take a look at the starting 5 for Efes. It's their 3-guard backcourt of Shane Larkin, Vasilija Micic and Krunoslav Simone, Sertak Shanley and Chris Singleton forming the front line. And as for FC Barcelona, well, just look at the size of their front line in that 2-guard backcourt. And Nick Kalathis, despite turning that right angle significantly, strapping it up, biting down and saying that he is ready to go. He's promised he's going to grow out the hair around the side of his head if Barcelona win the Euroleague title tonight. And in order to carry out that bet that he's had with his teammates, he is going to give it everything he has. What a semi-final he played on Friday. Well, just time to introduce myself and my co-commentating colleague here tonight. My name's Ronald McIntosh. I'll be your lead commentator, and alongside us to provide expert analysis and insightful co-commentary, Martin Henlin. And Martin, these two sides facing off for the 24th time tonight. It's slightly in Barcelona's favor all time at 12-11, but perhaps significantly, it is FS who have won the last 3 encounters, including sweeping this regular season. But then on the flip side, Pau Gasol's been added to the mix since that regular season sweep. Where for you does the advantage lie, if anywhere?
Well, actually, normally I disregard regular season matchups. But in this case, it seems like FS had Barcelona's numbers. When they played those 2 times this season, they were both incredibly important games for both teams. The X factor is what happens with Gasol. What does he add? Because he was outstanding on Friday night in that semi-final. 10 points in 11 minutes. If he can give them that little bit of an X factor, does that neutralize the new Superman that is Sertak Shanley?
Well, as we edge ever closer towards the opening tip, Sasha Pukul, the crew chief of the officials, are on hand to take charge of this game. What type of game are they going to allow to transpire here tonight? Barcelona, with their suffocating defense, the explosive offense that comes primarily from the backcourt of Anadolu Efes Istanbul, who will be able to find their groove most immediately, most effectively and most efficiently. All of these imponderables about to be answered over the course of 4 10-minute quarters of basketball, although, of course, overtime a distinct possibility.
Ron has got to say, the officials you mentioned, how sharp did they turn up tonight? Did you see the suits they broke out? Woo!
Raise the
shout
shout.
out to the officials. They are large and in charge.
So buckle up and enjoy the ride in this championship game of the 2020-2021 Turkish Airlines Euroleague season. Nikola Mirotic with the 3-pointer, but crashing the boards hard is Victor Claver, the offensive rebound and the stick back all in one motion.
That is a huge play because Claver came off the bench on Friday, had a relatively average game at best. For him to get going early, they started him in this game to try and guard Micic with his length. And then if he's got offensive numbers, if he gets his confidence up at the beginning of this game, that's a huge boost to Barca.
Terrific hands from Brandon Davies, the takeaway, and finishing with the jam. A blistering start by Barcelona, and their vaunted defense coming to the fore early.
Davies, he is the man for all seasons. He is all over the floor. Only 2 points in the semi-final, but he is the core of their defense. Look at him now, swarming everywhere.
Barcelona extending that defense way out beyond the three-point line. Vasilij Micic sees the seam, what an offload. And the beneficiary once again, Sertac Shanley, one shy of his career high in the semi-finals.
Well, I tell you, he'd better keep Mr. Micic high on his Christmas card list, because that was a beautiful dime.
So it's Corey Higgins who hit that game winner from the top of the key, gets to the same spot once again, rim shot, battle for the rebound. Sertac Shanley comes down with it. Sertac Shanley equaled his career high, hauling in 8 rebounds in the semi-final, equaling a career high that he set against Barcelona. What a touch pass, and it's that man again, the familiar combination, and Saruna Jasikajic is apoplectic on the sidelines.
Well, Chandler got his career, he matched his career high 8 rebounds. First time he got it was against Barcelona in the regular season. But what a pass from Micic. And again, Micic, he picks teams apart with his vision, and he's still using that same little cross. Look at this here, that is outstanding. Claver could do nothing about that. And Chandler, the confidence this young man has got, many a big man would have just crumbled under the pressure of Micic there. Stays composed, gets the deuce.
Sertac Shanley said ahead of this game he doesn't care if he plays 40 minutes or 0 seconds. He just wants to hoist that trophy aloft. And what a breakout season he has enjoyed this campaign. Larkin has used his dribble. He rotates to Simone. Simone off the jab step. Mid-range Jay for Shanna off the wing. Back iron on the shot. Doesn't get the shooter's roll. A gang rebound between Claver and Davies.
If Shanna starts getting that mid-range jump shot going, that is going to be a real problem for Barcelona.
Davies, top of the key, high post Jay, clangs off the front rim. Singleton fighting for it, what a save, typifying the hustle. That could well be the decisive factor in this game. Singleton finding the hands of a teammate with the hustle play.
Championship game, you got to have championship moments. And that kind of throw your body, sacrifice everything for the cause.
Larkin with the quickness, rubbed out by Corey Higgins with a terrific anticipation. He goes a lot down the lane in traffic. Fouled in the act of shooting, he'll go to the free throw line. Well, but again, Barcelona's swarming defense disrupting things for FS.
And this is how Barcelona started the semi-final on Friday. Both teams explosive at the beginning of the first quarter. Barcelona then had to sort of weather the storm from Milan. FS ran out of steam as the game went. So if Barcelona keep this, they'd be very happy for this game to go like this for the whole 4 quarters. And you've already teased it, we know we're going to overtime.
So Corey Higgins to the free throw line, 93% from the stripe this campaign.
Now all the talk about the guards, the backcourt, the perimeter players of FS, but what about this guy here? Corey Higgins has quietly put himself together a legendary career. 2-time champion already, and that jumper he pulled in on Friday night, that was straight out of the center of the heart surgery manual. That was guts and glory.
So a perfect trip to the free throw line for Corey Higgins, playing in his 5th consecutive Final Four, seeking his 3rd EuroLeague title after that brace of success. And there's another finish from Sertac Shanley. 6 points in the game for FS, and all 6 of them have come from the hot hand of the man who is rolling to the bucket in rhythmic fashion and finding finishes on the inside.
I'd say, when you've got a player who's got the confidence that Sertac Shanley's rolling with right now, it's almost unstoppable. You know, what Barcelona's banking on is they take away the perimeter players and then they open up Shanley, and yeah, he was just the recipient because he was the last man open. FS are going to him. They're trying to find him. This is a weapon. The coach Ataman has said, oh, no, he's more important to me than just some role player. He's not interchangeable.
Sertac Shanley completes the 3-point play. And FS have their first lead of this championship game. He was a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line in the semi-final, and that is a daisy cutter that Nikola Mirotic can't pick up off the top of his shoelaces. Turnover's the result.
Yeah, difficult pass for Mirotic to pick up down there. And look, matchup-wise, Mirotic against Singleton is a much more difficult opportunity for Mirotic than you would expect. Singleton, an outstanding defender. And Davies, he's got to have the confidence. He's missed that first free throw line jump shot. He's got to pull the trigger on it again.
Well, even Einstein left the gas on when he left the house sometimes. Vasilij Micic, the newly crowned MVP, just bouncing the ball off his foot to commit the turnover. But that's first of the game for FS.
That's the defense that Barcelona wants. They want the bigger Claver to cause trouble for Micic. Off the dribble, he can bother him a little bit. What he has now to do is stop him passing the ball.
Strong drive into the lane. Mirotic lost his footing, managed to distribute the basketball to Kalates on the perimeter. He can't find the range. Mirotic in there fighting for the offensive board. Simone comes away with it.
Yeah, Barcelona unusually out-rebounded by Milan in the semi-final. And you see FS are just rebounded by any means necessary.
Beautiful offload to Sertac Shanley once again, and he's drawn a foul. And we've talked about his consistency from the free throw line. He could well make the opposition pay from 15 feet away.
Well, that time the defense sucks in. You can't let Larkin get free here, but they've got this switch where the point guard ends up on the big, and they are very aware that Chandler's the guy who's open, and they're feeding him. Barcelona do not have an answer for him right now, because that could experience-wise, you could easily make that Chris Singleton, put Chandler out in the wing. He's an excellent three-point shooter. But no, they're feeding him down low. He is in the zone.
Sertac Shanley, 38% from downtown this campaign. Doesn't shoot many of them, but he's connecting at a significant clip. So a review of the type of foul. Remember, it's a championship game. No layups are going to be permitted. Now, how is this going to be ruled by the officials? Scrutinizing this play closely, and again we are seeing the exact same output, not Pau Gasol on the left but the foul review outputs on the right. This is exactly what the officials are seeing over at the table.
They changed that. The original call was a foul. To turn that, if it had been the original call unsportsmanlike, maybe different, but the original was called a foul, and indeed it was. Claver would have been hoped to get the ball, but if not, I don't mind taking both your arms with me.
So Claver called for his first foul.
Now the thing is, Ron, Barcelona will have to adjust defensively to stop this onslaught from Chandler. So that's when you start seeing the opportunities for FS to come to the fore. Simone, Larkin, Mitsic, dare I say Singleton even, and their bench players haven't come into action yet.
So often we associate the potency of FS's offense from their perimeter players, but this time they're going inside to get their offense rolling. Chandler missing for the first time from the stripe in the Final Four, but his consistency resumes. He has got all 8 FS points, and they have their largest lead of the game. It's a one-possession game. Barcelona 6, FS 8. So just over 4 minutes gone in this first quarter, and Nick Kalates moving freely considering the severity of his rolled ankle on Friday night. Gets the ball back to the high post, top of the key, clangs off the iron, crashing the boards hard is Brandon Davies, who gets the stick back to move to 4 points in the game and tie things up at 8. His activity rewarded. Yeah, exactly. You got it on the nail on the head there on his activity. He hustles, he moves constantly, never-ending motion he's got. Throughout his relatively short EuroLeague career, this is a guy who draws fouls, and he gets to the basket that time. Chandler, no competition for him on the backboards. So Brandon Davies completes the three-point play. He moves to 5 points in the game. Barcelona lead by 1, approaching the midpoint of the first.
And I hate to have to say this, because as great as Chandler is playing, FS needs input from their other players. You know, I'll say this about Chandler, he's not going to have 40 points to win this game by himself. They're going to have to get some output from their other stars.
Deep in the shot clock, Mitsic working the dribble, Davies all over him, front rim on the shot, ball is loose, Chris Singleton runs it down, helps himself to a corner three-pointer off the front iron, ball still loose, Corey Higgins secures it with a strong board on the inside.
Is there a technical foul being called underneath here? They called a foul on Chandler battling on the boards. They've got a hold call. I've got to say this as well, Ron. You know, I like the way the refs are letting them play right now. This is for all the marbles. They're letting them bang, and they're consistent. They're not calling soft at one end. They're just letting them go at it. They've got to keep it under control.
Well, it's FS who have end-line possession. 14 seconds as Larkin catches the shooter.
Wow.
Fouled in the act of shooting, and will go to the strike for 3 free throws. Corey Higgins immediately acknowledging that he committed the foul.
Well, I know I said they need contributions from other players. It would be pure magic for FS if this is the guy who starts to come up. Because Larkin, he got the rebound that got the win on Friday, but he didn't really have the sort of shining game we're not used to seeing from him. So he gets going early. Oh, they called a foul on him.
So Shane Larkin called for the foul.
Kicking his leg out, trying to draw the foul.
Indeed.
Wow, don't get that one called a lot.
Strong move on the inside from Brandon Davies, who just bullied his way to the defensive semicircle and muscled home the jump hook. 7 points in the game to lead his team in scoring.
Don't forget, Davies only scored 2 points in the semi-final, but he averages 11 points on the season. And in his days, when he first came to the Euroleague and he was playing over in Kaunas, he was putting up big numbers.
Well, the ball hasn't left Mitsic's hands once again, and that's a tough double clutch J. Keeping the ball alive on the boards is Krinoslav Simone, but Barcelona come away with it. Brandon Davies playing point forward, making himself available at the high post. But Calathes instead elects to go for the half-court set. Simone looking to front Davies. Singleton applies a double team. Picked off with terrific anticipation by Vasilij Micic. Lead pass, finds Krinoslav Simone. Left-hand transition layup on the fast break.
And Krino Simone, that is full speed for him, by the way. He makes the game look so easy. Great defense by A.EFES. They're really physical there. Chandler, getting tangled up with Davies that time. But they're swarming, hands up, aggressive in the passing lane. And so the turnover is forced because Barcelona's throwing the ball to them.
So we're beyond the midpoint of the first quarter, and it's FC Barcelona leading by 1 in what is proving to be a defensive tussle so far.
I'm playing for one team.
On and off the court.
To reduce inequalities.
To inspire people in need.
To train life skills. To make a real social change.
To be there for each other.
So that no one is left behind.
Get your We Are All One Team gear.
To support pandemic community relief initiatives.
We are all one team.
So some of the sights and sounds from the early stages of this championship game here at the Lances Arena, and what a tussle it is proving to be. FC Barcelona, the third best three-point shooting team in the competition. A.EFES hot on their heels at number 4, but both sides currently 0 from downtown, and that's testimony to how difficult it is to get a shot away without it being contested on a perimeter.
Well, you say how good both these teams are at scoring the three-point shot, but they're also excellent at defending it as well, holding the opposition down near 35%. That is something that is being proven out so far. So this game is going to come down to the hustle plays. It's going to be rebounded. Interesting that both teams already banging the offensive glass to get extra opportunities. Three-point shots will start to fall when the legs start to get weary. And trust me, they will. This is 2 of the most intense games of your career within 48 hours.
So Calathes rotates it to Brandon Davies after the inbound. Higgins using the screen from Davies. He rolls towards the bucket. He's in the lane. Creative shot attempted. Brandon Davies battling for the ball. Singleton manages to take it away from him. Yeah. But just as you were talking about, Martin, FC Barcelona, the #1 defensive team against a three-pointer, limiting opponents to 34%. A.EFES right behind him at number 3, limiting their opponents to 36%. Couldn't get it to go on the inside. Bryant Dunstan. Higgins down into the low post. Singleton moving his feet. Davies avoids the travel. Roland Schmitz for 3. Front rim on the shot. Nick Calathes with the offensive board. Dunstan bumps him. And then Chris Singleton bit on the shot fake. And when gravity brought him back down to earth, he collided with Davies. Davies doing a good job drawing the foul.
Davies is all over the place right now. And remember Micic after the game on Friday, he said, I gave some extra hot sauce at the beginning of the game and then I ran out of steam. That's what Davies is doing right now. He is throwing everything. He's not trying to pace himself at all. He trusts in his teammates. It kind of helps when you've got an all-time legend who's going to take your place in a little bit. But that's why he's giving it. He's playing this whole first quarter so far and he's gone absolutely crazy. He's setting the tone for his team. He's softening up the inside of A.EFES, and then all of a sudden we bring this little guy called Pau Gasol, might come in at some point, see what he can bring to the party. This game so closely poised. And the other thing I mentioned, I was talking about Chandler not being able to win the game by himself. I like the aggression early on from Bryant Dunstan. Was a bit part player on Friday. He's coming to be a big part of this game tonight.
Well, we've got a whistle away from the basketball. Roland Schmitz called for the foul.
Well, when Barcelona were down by 9 points to Milan in the semi-final, it was the likes of Schmitz, Hanger, Balmaro. It was the role players that came in, Kuric, You know, and they asked Coach Jaskevicius, you know, if that was by design. He said, hey, that was the team that was rolling. They brought us back and got us back into this game. So he's got confidence in them, and Smith's getting extra minutes early on tonight. How'd that end up as a tech? I'm not quite sure.
So Shane Larkin technical foul called against Sarunas Jasakavičius. So Larkin hits the technical free throw to bring his team back to within one. And now with both teams in a penalty, here are the free throws for Chris Singleton. Singleton 1 of 2 from the free throw line in their semi-final on Friday. That was his only point of the game, but he did grab 3 rebounds and dish an assist and set some serious screens as well during the course of that victory for FS in his 29 minutes on the court.
Well, he played that Brandon Davies role, you know. I mean, and tonight, the noticeable thing is how many points has Nikola Mirotic got so far? That's the question you ask, because that's his job. And Mirotic hasn't put up anything yet.
Strong drive into the lane. Brandon Davies with a pirouette beneath. He somehow got his own offensive rebound, and he is tenacity personified on the offensive boards. Another offensive rebound gives him a total of 5 at both ends for the game, taken away by Victor Clever. And now it's Corey Higgins in transition. They now look at their secondary break options. Surrounded in the low post is Corey Higgins. Roland Schmitz with a drive and dish. Corey Higgins with the corner J, nothing but net. Beautiful two-man game between Corey Higgins and Roland Schmitz. Corey Higgins moves to 5 points in the game on that, his first three-pointer, the first three-pointer of either side.
Yeah, well, Barcelona is starting to take control of the tempo of this game. It's being played at a snail's pace, which they love. And with Davies just being marauding on the backboards, and even now still trying to break plays up, FS have got to find some other answers. This is why Coach Adaman's going to his bench.
So, Leandro Balmaro checking into the game. Calates moving effectively during the course of his shift after getting a start. Kyle Kuric, a downtown marksman, leading the Euroleague in accuracy from long range, coming in for his first work of the finals. So too So Smitsic being guarded by Davies on the perimeter. He attacks him aggressively. Oh, that's a strong take to the glass. Bryant Dunstan got a hand on it. He managed to bobble the basketball to Beaubois. Beaubois working the dribble, going against Balmaro, slices his way beneath the bucket, bounce pass fortuitously, makes its way out to Singleton. Deep into the shot clock, Penislav Simone. Three-pointer off the mark. Rebound run down by Balmaro.
Well, I'll tell you, Balmaro against Beaubois is going to be a battle we will have to watch tonight, because Balmaro was masterful on Friday, and Coach Saras is fired up. Well, I think they've called a technical foul on EFES, and he wants them to play the play. He didn't want that offense to stop.
Well, he's already been hit with one technical as Coach Sarunas Jasakavičius. He's very much making his presence felt, looking to become just the 4th person to win EuroLeague titles as a player and a coach.
Well, his frustration there is the technical fouls called on the FS team, but it stopped his team that are on, in control of the tempo, the pace of the game. They've got FS under control right now, so he almost doesn't want them to call a tech. Let us keep playing.
So both coaches have been hit with technical fouls. FC Barcelona with their largest lead of the game. The advantage is 5 as Kuric working on Beaubois. Almost lost the handle. Beaubois sticking with him by moving his feet terrifically. Kuric drives, goes baseline and gets the shooter's roll. Difficult shot attempt. Kyle Kuric moves to 3 points in the game on his first field goal.
Who says Kyle Kuric is a standstill jump shooter? That is a gutsy play over the greatest shot blocker in the history of the EuroLeague. And again, Ron, it's noticeable, this is the second unit of Barcelona that's changed the pace of the game. They turned it around in the semi-final, they're turning it around here. They're giving that separation before Barcelona has to go deep into his bench. I mean, Brandon Davies, that 9-minute shift is something that will live long in the memories of Barcelona if he wins this game.
And he's only taking a breather, one suspects, because he has picked up his second foul. That's why he received a congratulatory low five from coach Arūnas Jasikevičius. Vasilija Micić to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
You remember in the semi-final, you know, all season we talked about Vasilija Micić. You know, he was the heart, the soul, the center of everything that FS have done. Friday in particular. But he's been relatively, he started the game with a couple of some great assists, but now this is his first real exploration to the basket. They need him to start having an influence. As I said, you've got to have input from the rest of the team.
So those free throws snapping a run of 8 unanswered points that Barcelona used to go up by 7, their largest lead of the game. Bolmaro finds a cutting Kuric, Beauvoir right with him, making like a shadow. Off the side iron with the mid-range J. Rebound Krunoslav Simone. Vasilija Micić electing to slow things down and get his team into the half-court set. Schmitz hedging out to help. Now Micić going for the isolation against Bolmaro. Loses him with a dribble. Dishes it off to Bryant Dunstan. High post floater is off the mark. Bryant Dunstan unable to get going offensively, and Kyle Kuric, no such difficulties. 5 points in the game on that, his second take to the bucket.
Well, Vasilija Micić in the semi-final destroyed the opposition with the crossover dribble, and there he got it given back to him by Kuric.
Well, Krunoslav Simone got the field goal away just before the first quarter buzzer sounded, but couldn't get it to go. So at the end of 10 minutes of play here at the Lanxess Arena, a very tight, fiery affair in this championship final. It's FC Barcelona 22, Anadolu Efes Istanbul 15. So some of the highlights from the first quarter. The pre-game pomp and pageantry was quickly forgotten once the opening tip went up, and this was a play that set the tone. A three-pointer attempted by Nikola Mirotic, Victor Claver on clean-up duty, and its defense turned into offense by Brandon Davies, who picked the pocket of the ball handler and raced down court for the dunk.
Yeah, playing like a man possessed, Brandon Davies. But FS answering to Serta Chandler, and there I say he's been the only one who's really come up with the goods offensively so far.
Serta Chandler scored FS's first 8 points in the game, scoring from the field and the free throw line. Corey Higgins connecting on his only three-point attempt. 5 points in the game for him because he's hit both of his free throws as well. And look at that, Anadolu Efes Istanbul, Ofer from downtown in a modest 36% in two-point range. Barca with a slight edge on the boards, just one fewer turnover committed by FC Barcelona. And the outstanding performer of the quarter is a man whose name we're calling practically all quarter long, Martin. Brandon Davies was everywhere for his team.
Everything, both ends of the floor. Obviously the 10 points, 5 rebounds is statistically what it is, but he had that steal. He was just active. He was guarding Vasilija Micić many times as well at the top of the key. He was just awesome. Now, does somebody else step up now? What? Because Pau Gasol, who's come in replacement for him, different kind of game. So Smits now has to give that energy play, and then Gasol becomes the goalkeeper, as I say. He parades around the center of the defense. And you talk about the three-point shooting of Efes is not much better for Barcelona between the two teams. 1 from 9 from 3.
So the second quarter underway. It's Larkin, Beauvoir, Micić, Moimont, and Tibor Pleiss into the game for his first action of the Final Four. Tibor Pleiss raised in Cologne, of course. As he rolls to the bucket, receives the alley-oop, got a hand on it, but couldn't convert.
Yeah, good defense. They're ready for that play. Pleiss, you said, minuteless on Friday. Great to see Larkin trying to get him in the game early.
There's the 5 on the floor for FC Barcelona. Abrines gives it to Gasol. Gasol looking to work on Tibor Pleiss. Gives it to Kyle Kuric, drifting through from the corner off the back iron. And I think that's going to be a push-off on Alex Abrines, and that's how he got himself the space for the offensive board.
Yeah, Abrines just gets shoving in the back of Larkin. It's one of those ones it's easy to call. It wasn't that he genuinely shoved him, but he ends up, once you're behind the defender, once you're boxed out, it's really difficult to get the rebound without fouling.
So Barcelona extending their defensive pressure. Is Rodrigue Beaubois being picked up by Kyle Kuric. Shane Larkin had to extend to make that reception. Then uses the screen from Tibor Pleiss, gets to the dots, explodes off one leg, off the mark. Alex Abrines with the rebound.
He misses another shot, and FS ice cold.
Count the basket. It's a continuation for Leandro Balmaro, and he is hyped at what he has just delivered in transition. The finish and the foul. He'll go to the free throw line looking for one more.
Leandro Balmaro, who has got better and better as the season's gone on. Career high 26 minutes, and what a defensive job he did on Friday against Milan in the semi-final, and now he's coming up with offensive numbers. Momentum solidly with the regular season league leaders. Barcelona in control.
They're up by a double-digit margin, their largest lead of the game. Leandro Balmaro with his first points of the game on that three-point play. But just look at how he is hassling and harrying the ball handlers. Tibor Pleiss sets the screen. Mitsic attacks the lane, gets into the lane. Can't get it to go, and Abrines on cleanup duty once again. Yeah, Barcelona not giving FS any second chance opportunities in this second quarter.
The defense of Barcelona working to perfection. To perfection. They're forcing Mitsic to shoot difficult shots. The help comes over. Gasol not necessarily trying to block the shot, just to trying to harry him and make him miss.
Oh my goodness. Well, you said that the officials are letting the players play, but a tangle of toes there down by the baseline sees Rodrigue Beaubois get called for his first. Not particularly enamored with the call.
Yeah, but I guess when someone gets tripped over, you have to call. You can't let it go, I suppose.
Balmaro down beneath the bucket and back out again. He's trying to get to the low post. Mitsic fighting for the ball. What a terrific defensive play. But he has breached the sideline. What a magnificent effort by the newly crowned MVP. Picks the pocket and then dives like a goalkeeper to get both mitts on the ball. But he breached the out-of-bounds markings on the side.
Oh, he did as well. His foot touched the line. And it's almost cruel to have to call it. And they reset the shot clock. They were saying, did he have possession before he went out?
So Kyle Kuric receives the inbound pass. Beaubois in pursuit. Kuric kicks to the corner. Balmaro aggressively to the edge of the lane. Pau Gasol gets the shot away. Ball still loose. Coming up with his Vasilya Mitsic. Oh, and he's been called for a travel. Well, he turns his palms towards the arena lights here at the Lanxess Arena because he was getting back to his feet, and in doing so, he's been called for walking.
Well, he did all the hustle play, tried to step in and take a charge, which was a big factor of his game on Friday, that sacrifice in his body. Doesn't get the charge, comes to the loose ball, and then forgets that you have to not travel. You leave the screen.
So that three-pointer finds the bottom of the net, but it will not count. A legal screen called on Pau Gasol, but that will make Kyle Kuric feel good about things. And there you saw that, just that little extension with that right bicep, blocking the path of Beaubois.
As we say, the point of emphasis all season long. Unfortunately for Mr. Gasol, he's only been here for a couple of months, but they've been calling that consistently non-stop.
So FS looking for their first points of the second quarter. They're trailing by 10. Larkin finds Tibor Pleiss, fires from 3, hits, and it's tipped in by Adrien Moyamon. So that'll be a 2-point bucket, the first field goal, the first score of the second quarter for FS. They reduce it to a single-digit deficit. They're down by 8.
That was going in as well. That could have been a 3. I tell you, Rodrigue Beaubois is an excellent defender. He is so good defensively. Just slides his feet, keeps the opposition in front of him.
Well, he's got that extraordinary reach, which is considerably greater than his height, and he uses, well, he turns that attribute into an asset to poke and just make life difficult for opposing ball handlers. Blocking shots as well, and Shane Larkin has given it right back. Turnovers reciprocated between the two sides.
The frustration, Shane Larkin, I said he's a you know, it's not as much an ego. Superstars are accustomed to playing like superstars. Larkin is in a bit of a funk. Chance here to get healthy after the unforced error from Abrines trying to find Balmaro. But Shane Larkin's not quite in his rhythm. And what's happening is Barcelona, they're not letting him shoot threes, forced him to drive. Then when he goes in the lane, the help is there, and that's where he's having problems. But an opportunity here, nothing like a couple of freebies to get you feeling good about yourself. FS needs Shane Larkin to have a good game. He hasn't got to be a great game. He hasn't got to break the records in the Final Four like he did last time that he got here, but he's got to give them more than what he's giving right now.
He talked about how effective he has been throughout the regular season, of course, but he has held a particular place in games against Barcelona over the past few seasons. 5 times he has been named weekly MVP as Tibor Pleiss hits the trifecta to make it a one-possession game, a maximum point trip down the floor during that unsportsmanlike foul, and Anadolu Efes Istanbul right back within touching distance. It's a one-possession affair here at the Lanxess Arena. Well, what a fantastic job the Turkish Airlines Euroleague have done in getting fans in close proximity to the action here at the Lanxess Arena. But this was the man of the first quarter, where he was just outstanding with his energy and intensity at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, and the good thing about it for Davies and Barcelona is he did it with, I think he maybe committed 1 foul, so he can play that in bursts. Now he's got to pick up his 2nd foul, so even if he doesn't play again, if he gives, in the first half, he gives you another 7-8 minutes of that to start the 3rd. That is exactly what they'll be looking to get out of it.
On offense, again, Kyle, Nico, Bolmaro, pass the ball to Nico. Foul at this point here. Nico, 1 dribble out, Bolmaro. 1 dribble, flare for you clearing Nico.
What I'll add for you, Ron, is although Barcelona have had a 10-point lead already, FS are not playing well. So if they get back to their normal style of game and start putting up some numbers, they're going to feel really good about themselves, because they're only down by 3 in a game that they could be sent home by now, because they really struggled in that first period.
So just over 2.5 minutes gone in this second quarter. Mirotic gives it to Bolmaro. Bolmaro drives on Larkin, loses his dribble. Mirotic beneath the free throw line. Bolmaro for 3 on the closeout from Shane Larkin. Terrific defensive rebound, Tibor Pleiss.
Well, I said they had to get some other contributions. We did not think it was going to be Pleiss. Didn't play a single minute on Friday, and here he is. Couple of 3-pointers now going to work on the boards. I'll say something else. Larkin defensively on that last play was incredibly intense. Oh, I love Krunoslav.
Terrific body control on that pirouette in the paint. Krunoslav Simone with his 2nd field goal of the game brings his team back to within 1. And after starting, well, there's confirmation of the run of 7 points without reply to make it a 1-point affair.
And so Barca, they go to their stud. What can Mirotic answer with?
Difficult fade away from within the lane. Kyle Kulic has gone careening over the baseline. We've got a whistle on the play.
I'm sure they call for the push there. Is this going to be, oh, it's Beaubois. And Rodrigue Beaubois is going to feel hard done by. He gets called a foul for tripping over, and then he goes for a normal block out. But because he's blocked him out and the guy's blocked out falls over, he gets another foul. Well, Davies back on the court. That's how important he's been.
So Calathes looking to inbound from the end line. Abrines driving, takes it to the chest of Tibor Pleiss. Tibor Pleiss called for the blocking foul. His feet inside the defensive semicircle.
And they were still moving as well. So he was sliding. There's a block always up. Now, what a contrast from the semi-finals. You know, both games 170 points or more. And here we are, first for the final. This is definitely Barca ball, as I call it. 50 points midway through the second quarter.
Well, there's the outstanding percentage of Alex Abrines from the free throw line. That pair of foul shots ending the run of 9 unanswered points FS used to get back to within 1. Still a one-possession affair. Barcelona up by 3. We've got a whistle away from the basketball. Rodrigue Beaubois holding up his hands as if to say, keep this guy off me. So Nick Calathes called for his second foul. Sideline possession for FS. Simone receives it from Beaubois. Beaubois on the move, cutting through the lane, catches it in three-point territory. Oh, works the jab step and footwork on Brandon Davies. Gets down to the low post, terrific dribble. Has been called.
He stepped out of bounds.
So Alex Sabrina is shutting off that potential avenue to the basket on the baseline. Here's the hesitation from Beaubois, but just there. My goodness, the finest of margins on the tread of that sole, just bisecting the baseline. So Higgins looking for a screen from Davies. Higgins attacks the lane, goes for a reverse, and he will go to the stripe.
That's a strong drive from Corey Higgins. Just put the whole offense on his back there, beats Beaubois, then beats the help defender, and then he gets to the basket, and he uses that rim, the backboard, to protect the ball and draw the foul on Pleiss.
Well, you talked about what a tight defensive tussle this is, and we talked about the numbers. 80 points, such a significant number, because when Anadolu Efes hits 80 points, just as they did when they survived that fight back against Siska in the semi-final, they win. And conversely, when FC Barcelona hold opponents to less than 80 points, well, they are generally successful. So that's going to be a target that could well be significant. And at this type of tempo, it looks as though 80 is a long way away. But of course, FS have that offense that can explode to put points on the board in bunches.
Well, they've got to get to their shooting averages. That's the important thing. One from 6 on three-point line. You know, Barcelona don't need to worry about that too much. Barcelona's shooting percentage from 3 is a decent percentage, but they don't shoot a lot of them. Whereas FS, they rely on it a lot.
Tibor Pleiss from the corner, and he rattles it home. Is that a long 2 or a 3? It's a long 2 for Tibor Pleiss, who has found his range here in his home city tonight.
Well, what an interesting situation. If you'd have told me before the game it was going to be Chandler and Pleiss that carrying the offense for FS, I'd have said you were a madman.
Beautiful footwork down low from Brandon Davies. Got the shot away, but couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Yeah, something that Pleiss brings, length, something you cannot coach. He is a long drink of water.
Well, between he and Shane Larkin, we have the tallest and shortest athletes in attendance here at the Euroleague Final Four on the court at the same time. There's the diminutive Shane Larkin.
And the difference that they have with Pleiss on the floor at the 5, the way Larkin plays, he likes to penetrate and kick. You saw at the end of the first period, he penetrated and kicked back to Dunstan. Dunstan can't shoot outside of a meter. Whereas with Pleiss, he's got almost unlimited range. That's what's helping FS get some kind of offensive rhythm. Was I being harsh on Brian?
I think that's a little bit harsh on Brian Dunstan, man.
He gets a lot of
three-pointer this season.
1.
Of 2. Shane Larkin remains perfect from the free throw line to bring his team back to within 1.
Okay.
You don't sound convinced, Mr. Henley.
Okay, you got Brian Dunstan as a three-point threat, then I can play point guard.
Oh, that one off the sideline. I thought Dunstan was going to launch again. Instead, he kicks it to Calathes. He goes short. Shane Larkin with the rebound.
Larkin is growing into this game. This is, you saw in the game in the semi-final, he had to look like a dispute with Coach Adaman. He wanted to just get himself into the rhythm. And now he's getting extended court time here, which is allowing him.
No travel called against Moyamor. I thought he left his feet. Vic Nikola Mirotic got a piece of it on the inside. Terrific interior D once again by Barcelona.
Tell me about it. That is rugged defense then. There's like 3 brick walls under the basket.
Corey Higgins using the screen. Brandon Davies wide open beneath the bucket. Volleyballs it back out with both hands. Corey Higgins off the pump fake. Mid-range J. Good look at the basket. Rattled in and out.
Yeah, the role players, the backup players of both teams having to be really important here. Mormont with the rebound in Pleiss, we've already mentioned. And neither team able to hit the broadside of a barn with a shotgun from open short scores. Higgins there with a shot he would make 9 times out of 10. The shooting 3-point percentage between them now. They're 2 from 15. Now, if you're FS again, we're 1 from 6, we're only down by 1. We're going to put up more. We expect our percentages to get better. But Barcelona will be very happy if neither team makes another 3-point shot tonight.
Well, Shane Larkin making a living at the free throw line tonight. That's where all of his points have come from. He's currently 0 of 2 from the field, but remains as consistent as ever from 15 feet away. He ties things up. And if he makes this one, that'll be a run of 6 points without reply for FS to put them up here in this second quarter.
Well, it's important. We keep saying belabor the point, and it's worth belaboring. Shane Larkin is of crucial importance tonight. He got that big rebound to win the game on Friday, but he really needs to counteract any kind of point guard action from Barcelona.
Higgins attacking the lane, down beneath the dots, double clutch, off the window, rebound Tibor Pleiss, who makes his presence felt once again, his 3rd rebound of the game. Larkin with the quickness, drives, kicks, Krzysztof Simone from the corner, off the rim, good shot, Corey Higgins with the board, Barca in transition. So he applies the brakes, Victor Claver sets a big screen on Micic, helping out his Tibor Pleiss. Into heavy traffic goes Corey Higgins, but he's out of control. Offensive foul is the call, as Corey Higgins bowling over defenders beneath the bucket.
Well, the role players stepping up. Adrien Mormont playing the Chris Singleton role there. Just hustle. I'm not going to put stats up. Just going to sacrifice my body. Higgins penetrates out of control. And it's scrappy. This is the sort of up and down raggedy fight you want in a championship game.
So just over 3 minutes remaining in the first half. It is Anadolu Efes Istanbul who have edged ahead in this back and forth affair. They lead by 1. Well, Tibor Pleiss enjoying some home cooking here in Cologne. The man who was raised in this city, checking into the Final Four for the first time during the course of this championship game, and what an impact he has made at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, exactly. 5 points, 3 rebounds, and what you love about it, there's an added pressure. You know, he's coming back, there's no fans in the arena, but he's in his hometown. It's like he's got to show out. In the normal times, he will be taking his team to show them the sights and sounds. Pressure on him, and he stepped up huge. And don't forget, he played 0 minutes, 0 seconds. Was even in the warm-up on Friday.
Looking to become the first German player to win the Euroleague in nearly 20 years. Christian Welp running in '97, Michael Koch in 2000, and Patrick Femerling in 2003. Still a lot of time left in this championship game.
Great knowledge, Ron. Patrick Femerling, that's not a name I hear every day. Christian Welp, what a wonderful player he was. Michael Koch, terrific guard. The only little man in that little triumvirate you talked up.
So just over 3 minutes to go in the first half. Larkin hedging out with Nikola Mirotic. Now it's the long arms of Victor Claver looking to slow down the speedy Shane Larkin. He jumps the pass, finds Micic. Micic's going to test that ankle of Kalates. Gets to mid-range. Difficult shot, but it goes. More masterful mid-range shooting from Nikola Mirotic, twisting his body in mid-air and banking that one home.
Well, Vasily Micic will like you give a name check to Mirotic, but that was a remarkable bucket, Rod. That was sensational. Anybody questioning what Vasily Micic can do, now they know. And it's that crossover dribble, but credit to Kalates for staying with him.
So offensive rebound secured by Leandro Bolmaro. After that missed 3 from Kalates, standing his ground is Moyamon. My goodness, Kalates just bulldozing through him. Corner 3-pointer, off the back iron, rebound, Adrien Moyamon.
Well, Barcelona now are not getting the shots that they want. That's a great penetration kick from Nick Kalates, but what he wants is Karl Kuric in the corner, not Bolmaro. And at the other end, Larkin again just keeps drawing fouls. And as you rightly said, you say, well, I can get points at the free throw line. They still spend the same way.
So FS looking to extend their run of 8 points without reply. They started the second quarter with a run of 9 unanswered points, to get themselves back to within one after they trailed by a double-digit margin, 25-15, after a hot start from Barca to begin quarter number 2.
I'll say this, though, we haven't seen anybody grind Barcelona to dust, and that's what's happening right now. Barcelona are getting beaten by their own game. You know, the FS are just nasty defensively, and then just go on the other end and say, we don't need field goals, we'll just take free throws.
So Shane Larkin remains perfect from the free throw line, 9 out of 9. And it's 10 points without reply for Anadolu Efes Istanbul to give them a 5-point lead, the largest lead of the game.
Well, and I'll say this again about Barcelona. You know, we know Nick Calathes is hurt, so that's, you know, an excuse for him is lack of production, fair enough. But Calathes, 0 points. Nikola Mirotic, 0 points. They've got to get something out of their stars.
So ball in the hands of Corey Higgins. He dumps it to Mirotic. Baseline is open, but Sertac Shanley is waiting. And Skrinislav Simone working furiously on the defensive end, forcing Mirotic into a difficult step back off one leg, and it comes up empty.
Well, that's the same strategy that Zenit used against Mirotic in the playoffs, in the quarterfinals. Force him to go to the dribble. Don't let him get easy open shots.
Sertac Shanley with the fake, drives baseline, gets to the goal. Where on earth did that come from? Sertac Shanley making like a perimeter powerhouse as he fakes, drives on Davies and leaves him on his haunches.
Hey, I hate to take this to the video game world, but it's like he went to a loot box and pulled a crossover dribble or something. You're like, what? He's got nothing. I know you're too old to know where a loot box is, Ron, but the kids out there know where I'm coming from. There's going to be an NFT with Sertac Shanley's shake-up move from the corner. I mean, he is just on another planet right now.
2 of 3 from the free throw line so far tonight after scoring FS's first 8 points, which gave them their first lead of the game at 6-8. Moves to 9 points in the game, as FS's run of points without reply continues.
This is a 20-4 run. This is not what happens to Barcelona. Not what happens. They were up 25-15. We've had a 25-point swing now. 21 points, 16-point swing now. 21-4 and counting. And where's the offensive poise? And this is where Calathes gets the offense going. But of course, he's playing on one leg. So we need somebody else to do it. Who's going to do that?
Balmaro and Davies in a 2-man exchange. Balmaro driving down the left side of the lane.
Wow.
And he gets the shot to go. Now, Tibor Pleiss, remember, he was sidelined for a long part of this campaign, and that is when Sertac Shanley went to the floor. Came to the fore, excuse me. Now, Tibor Pleiss is experiencing difficulty with his leg again. Rebound, Adrian Moerman gets the stick back to go. Adrian Moerman with his second offensive rebound to move to 4 points in the game. And there is a worrying sight for Anadolu Efes Istanbul. The lower body of Tibor Pleiss succumbing to injury again. Let's hope he can return.
Yeah, indeed. But look, the role players, we said they had to step up for Efes, and they're doing that. Moerman coming through. But finally, Barcelona get the right guy shooting the ball. And if this is a foul on the rebound from Chandler, if he's fouled Davis, they're going to get it back as well. Oh, if that shot was before the foul, I think it is. The shot is away. Yes, indeed. Barcelona's getting the ball back. Finally, they get the right shooter. They've got Kuric for 3 in the corner. This is going to be a huge play. They were down 7. That's 3 points and the basketball back. Same thing as what happened to Efes when they're down by 10. Suddenly they had that 5-point swing, the unsportsmanlike, 2 free throws and a 3-point shot.
So closing seconds of the first half, FC Barcelona battling back. They've been down by 7. They now trail by just 4 after hitting that corner 3 from Kyle Kuric. Well, look at the amount of contact that is taking place in this championship game, both beneath the bucket and out on the perimeter. No clear runs to the basket. Guys bodying up in a position, in an attempt to keep their opponents at bay.
And one of the things are
Right.
historically,
We start to attack.
well, let's
Last
listen
10
to Coach
seconds.
Adaman.
Okay, last 10 seconds, we start to attack. First pick on the left, second pick on the right. Here, good pick. His player roll, then you can read for the defense. Okay, Shane comes first. Listen, okay, listen. Again, zone press. If they make zone press, here. Shane, make the sideline, baseline here. Kuruno, Micic, one ball, pass the ball. Chris, you are middle player, Adrian, you under. When you pass the ball to there, Chris come there, this player there, Shane, you come to there.
Well, both coaches have been hit with technical fouls during the course of this first half. Testimony to just how intense this game is. And they wanted to make their influence felt. Of course, we all know that you can't change calls, but you might want to get something in the bank and in the minds of the officials for down the stretch. Really are getting themselves into the game, encouraging their players, and just letting the referee know their perspective on things.
Well, and as physical as this game is, the coaches need to make their presence felt so that everybody knows, their players know they're invested in the game, and the referees know that they are watching them. And the interesting thing is, you mentioned how physical this game has been. The referees, they tend to let games become more physical as the game wears on. So if it's like this already, then this game is going to stay at the tempo that very much suits Barcelona. It's not going to suddenly turn into a run and gun blitz out in the second half.
Well, Brandon Davies 0 of 2 from the free throw line. We've got a whistle on the play. Is that a foul on Nikola Mirotic?
I believe it is.
With both teams in the penalty, that's going to be a trip to the free throw line. Brandon Davies, 77% from the stripe this season, and that shove there, as you look to split the gap between Chris Singleton and Adrian Moyamont, results in the second foul being called on Nikola Mirotic.
We talk of the close margins there are in this game, you know, that kind of call there, where they've made the three-point bucket, then they've got a chance to get more points. They come up with nothing because Brandon misses the free throws, then that little touch foul. You know, this game is going to be an absolute game of inches. It's not going to be 84-84 and then a shot to decide who makes the jumper at the end. This game is going to be decided on the backboards and on the free throw line by the look of things. It's certainly not going to be decided at the three-point line.
Adrian Moyamont to the stripe for the first time tonight. Can't find a range. He was a perfect 4 of 4 in his 6-point haul in semi-final B against CSKA on Friday. And that's a knuckleball, but what an offensive rebound from Chris Singleton.
But they called a violation. He stepped in early. You know, talk about these fine margins. Davies missed a couple of free throws, and he cancelled that because Moyamont can't get them back.
So Dosh Balbay, the Anadolu Efes Istanbul captain, into the game for the first time. He provided a brief cameo in the Final Four as well. But again, such an outstanding on-ball defender.
Well, what they're trying
to book immediately.
He's out there to stop Kuric getting open for three. And he just jump between the two players. They called the foul on Balbay. Actually, it was Simone who got him. Amazing, in the first half and already they're playing offensive, defensive substitutions. That's how tight this one is. And Ron, we haven't talked about it yet. Just what this means to a player to win the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. It is career changing. Once you've got that chip, that championship, no one can ever take it away from you. And they will give anything, anything. You saw Balbay just to jump through that screen. That's how much you will give to play this game.
So Kyle Kuric, the #1 free throw shooter in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague, moved to 10 points in the game as he moves to 3 of 3 from the free throw line. His team now trailing by just 2. 6.8 seconds remain in the first half. Timeout on the floor. Barcelona 36, FS 38.
Roddy, make the sideline. Here, okay. Micic is that. Kuruno is that. Shane is that. So, if They deny him to everybody. We can take Shane, jump to the ball, careful. We give the ball to Shane, everybody open, he play isolation. If we get successful to give the ball to one of the guards, doesn't matter, okay? Shane, you run immediately to that. We give the ball back to Roddy, and Roddy will attack. Okay, and Chris, you stay to that. Okay? Shane, you start to that. Okay, if they deny him ball, you jump, you receive the ball, then you attack. If we give the ball to one of the side, ball, okay, from that, you run, we give the ball back, Roddy, Roddy will attack. Okay?
So Coach Ergin Ataman outlining the X's and O's that he wants executed on this final play of what they hope will be the final play of the first half. 6.8 seconds remaining. End line possession. Barca extending to full court defensive pressure. So Rodrigue Beaubois picked up by Adam Hanger. Beaubois coming downhill all the way to the lane, and we've got a whistle on the play. It's going to be another trip to the stripe. Coach Saruna Shatakaiva just not a happy man.
Well, I think the Smith's trying to step in and draw the charge. May have been in the circle, hadn't got his feet set, but credit Rodrigue Beaubois. Route one, did not mess around. Just blew down the court. Not even, I like this, in this stage of the game, you're not thinking about trying to pull up for a three-point shot. Get to the basket. That's how you win basketball games. Especially, the free throws are flowing like water in this first half. They've got 35 between them. Go to the line. Love that play by Rodrigue Beaubois.
He's missed just 3 times all season from the stripe. 37 of 40 coming into this game.
That's twice you've done that now, right? You did it on Friday. You got the touch. Please don't ever commentate on me shooting a free throw. I'm bad enough without your help.
So Rodrigue Beaubois resumes his consistency. Final second of the game, 3/4 court heave. Doesn't draw iron. Well, what a bruising first 20 minutes of basketball we have had here at the Lanxess Arena. 20 minutes in the book, and it is a one-possession affair between these two finalists. FC Barcelona trailing Anadolu Efes Istanbul in a game where they have led by as many as 10 with 2 quarters to go in this championship game. It is FC Barcelona 36, Anadolu Efes Istanbul 39. Well, let's hear from Shane Larkin. 9 points in the first, all from the stripe.
Shane, only 2 shots from the field, 9 for 9 from the line, but man, you look like you're putting your body on the line for your team tonight, man, by doing what you're doing.
Yeah, they're being really aggressive on defense, trying not to let me catch the ball. So I'm just trying to use my speed, my quickness to try to get around them. But we're playing all right offensively as a team. We're getting some open shots, just knocking them down. But defensively is where we have to focus, stay intense on the defensive end. They're a great offensive team, so we just got to continue to stay focused there.
0 field goals made, and you're all still up, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.
So Shane Larkin can afford to smile despite being 0 for 2 from the field. Let's hear from Brandon Davies, 10 points.
Hey, Brandon, not only, I mean, you set the tone from the beginning for you and your team right off the bat, but somehow or another, they escaped from you guys in the first half. How'd you go down 3? It looked like you guys were dominating that game early.
Yeah, it's a game of runs. That's a great team we're playing against. So we just got to stick to our game plan and play more focused and solid.
Good luck in the second half, man.
Thank you.
So as we take a look at the top 3 scorers, Kyle Kuric, one of 2 double-digit men for FC Barcelona, but they were shackled to just 14 points in that second quarter, outscored by 10 by FS, who put 10 on the board. Sertak Shanley scored FS's first 8 points of the game and ended the half with 10.
Us. And Siesta, official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines Euroleague.
So that is how things stand after a dominant second quarter in favor of Anadolu Efes Istanbul, holding Barcelona to just 14 second quarter points while they scored 24. They've led by as many as 7 on a couple of occasions. Barca opened the quarter to go up by 10. As we take a look at some of the sights and sounds from the high-mo cameras in evidence here at the Lanxess Arena. And again, this just a perfect example which completely refutes the notion that basketball is a non-contact sport.
Well, there isn't any contact that's legal. You know, it's they are going to war down there. Their bodies are banging, they're throwing it around. And this is exactly the tempo, the style of game that Barcelona wants. But EFES have got the answer, and they've got this young man here who is having another night to remember.
Out of the gate strong came Sertac Shanli, the first 8 points for Anadolu Efes Istanbul. He ended the half with 10, but he has picked up his 3rd foul. And if Tibor Pleiss isn't able to return, that could present a lack of size on the interior. If Sertac Shanli fouls out and isn't able to take any further part. Keep a close eye on the status of Tibor Pleiss. Kyle Kuric has checked into the game for FC Barcelona off the bench and put up 10 points. We all know about his prowess from downtown, but he scored on some tough takes to the bucket to open his account.
He's just been remarkable in terms of intensity. We talk about Brandon Davies already, 10 points all in the first quarter. Kuric came to play in the second, 10 out of 14. He's carrying his team.
So the Barcelona players out early. Let's hear from
Coach,
their
early
head
on in the
coach.
game, you used your length on the outside to stop Misic and Larkin. But as soon as EFES just got away from you with that run at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, we put Larkin on the line. I mean, we cannot foul after bonus. He's above 80%. I mean, we gotta suffer. We gotta do first rotation, second rotation. We have a game plan. We went away from it. 8 turnovers with the preparation. We put him on the line too much, basically.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
So Sarunas Jasakevicius just intimating that his team got away from the game plan. Let's hear from his opposite number, Adgen Ataman.
Hey, Coach, if I told you before the game that Misic and Larkin would have 1 field goal between the 2 of them and you'd be up 3 points, would you be happy?
No, I'm not happy because actually we didn't get successful to put on the court our strategy. So they break our pick and roll offense with the switching with Klaver, made very good job against Micic. But defense is important. Second quarter, we improve the defense, and then we start to find our running game, fast break points, early points. This will be the key. So they play so strong. They play with contact in defense, but we need to give answer about this.
It's a championship game, Coach. That's the way it is. Good luck, man. Second half.
So Coach Adgen Ataman saying that he didn't get the chance to implement his strategy, but as he also acknowledged, this is what you expect in the championships. Moves to be countered, strategies to be wiped out. Points hard to come by from any area on the floor other than the free throw line for Anadolu Efes Istanbul, but aren't they shooting efficiently from 15 feet away, 18 of 22 through 20 minutes of play?
Yeah, that's important. Both these teams draw a lot of free throws during the season. Second and third average free throws attempted per game at 18 and a bit. But look at this, 22 already for EFES. Points off turnovers, really impressive for them.
And here's the shot zone of FC Barcelona. 2 of 12 from downtown, and again down in the 40s in terms of 2-point territory. They've got to the free throw line 15 times, missed just 3 times at 12 for 15 from the stripe.
And the points off turnovers again, 5 for Barcelona, 9 for EFES. The game is 3-point difference. That's it. They've both got the same amount of turnovers, so it's a finest of margins between these 2 teams.
Well, as we saw when we returned to live images here at the Lanxess Arena, FC Barcelona were out early trying to familiarize themselves with the bucket that they're going to be shooting into in a bid to raise those field goal percentages. A last rallying cry and clear instructions from Coach Sarunas Jasakevicius before his troops take to the floor. to begin this second half.
You mentioned the three-point shooting, Ron. You know, it was only 48 hours ago that both of these teams shot 40% from the three-point line, and in the same baskets. we can put a call into the Euroleague and see if they put new backboards in there today. But I think there was a game earlier on tonight, and they didn't have any trouble shooting threes on it. So maybe there's a natural little bit of nervousness in there. I mean, and it's okay. The thing is, as a player, is to embrace it and say, yeah, maybe I was a bit nervous in the first half, but now I'm just going to relax and play.
So there's the five to begin the second half for FS. It's Larkin, Mitsic, Moimore, Anderson, and Dunstan, giving them a comparatively small lineup. There's Larkin working the point, Mirotic with a bit of body. He hustles down to the baseline. Mitsic slicing to the bucket. What an offensive rebound by Bryant Dunstan. An outstanding job on the boards by Bryant Dunstan, 7th all-time on the offensive rebounding charts, and he got the stick back to go there. Well, that's what he's in the game for now. He's not going to give you that pick-and-pop jump shot, but what he can do is crash the backboards. And the thing is, you can see that Mitsic is going to try and exploit the matchup against Calathes. Calathes cannot keep in front of him with that dodgy ankle. So Larkin using his speed on Brandon Davies. Brandon Davies recovered to take up a position in front of the ball handler. Pull-up three for Shane Larkin. Good look at the basket, off the back iron, rebound Barca.
Yeah, and there's a great look for him, and Dunstan, again, set the screen to get him open.
Well, whistle on the play, you can just see, well, on the previous shot, you could just see, and I can tell you from our commentary position that Tibor Pleiss is back on the FS sideline, which is good news for FS, but we still have no information as to whether he will be able to go and make a further on-court contribution. See that heavy strapping on his lower left leg.
Yeah, you can see it. At least it's not an ice pack, which would mean he was done.
So into the lane to Brandon Davies. Corey Higgins fakes the three, dribbles left off one and nets it. Corey Higgins, with his second three-pointer of the game, becomes the third Barcelona player to 10 points.
He's like an assassin. You know, he had the game winner the other night. He's got 2 championships already. You know, he's just had to grind his career away, and he is now one of the forefront players that step up come big time. Larkin missed the last time.
Oh, what body control from Vasilija Mitsic, penetrating a gap that even Light would have had difficulty getting through. How on earth did he do this?
Well, we sat there and said that this game's not going to suddenly change pace and blow into an easy scoring. Well, what do we know? Look at that for a finish for Mitsic. It's that crossover dribble again. And the whole point about Mitsic is, remember, basketball is his second sport. He started life as a slalom skier. So he has got some moves. And don't forget, when he's skiing, he's doing that with great big, 4 meters of hard polyethylene under his feet. Basketball shoes, this is a walk in the park for him.
So Vasilija Mitsic completes the three-point play. He moves to 7 points in the game. Perfect 3 out of 3 from the free throw line as Higgins takes heavy contact. But it's an offensive foul because he raised his left elbow, and he is not a happy man. The mouthpiece is out, and he is expressing his frustration over on that sideline. Shane Larkin takes the shot to the chin. But Corey Higgins being strong with the ball on the drive, and that's why he's being called for the offensive foul.
And where he got the foul is, watch, Larkin doesn't go down, he doesn't flop. He gets there's the bow to the face, any contact with the head. Now, if Larkin had flopped, they may have not called it, but he stayed strong, so credit to Shane Larkin.
Outstanding job from Vasilija Mitsic. Back-to-back field goals by attacking the lane. Vasilija Mitsic moves to 9 points in the game. Strong start to the second half for him.
And here's a problem for Barcelona. Calathes is struggling defensively because he's got that bad ankle, and Karl Kuric is no match for Vasilija Mitsic at the point guard position. So they're going to have to switch over and put a big on him. And here you see Barmaro coming in the game, forces the hand of coach Jaskevičius. So Calathes has to come out because defensively he's hurting his team right now. Not intentionally, but he just doesn't have the foot speed at the moment.
So Barmaro inbounds to Higgins. Brandon Davies sets a screen on Larkin. Terrific help on the hedge out by Bryant Dunstan. Higgins once again calling for the screen from Davies. Dumped down low. They look to go to Davies inside. Taken away by James Anderson. On the recovery is Nikola Mirotic.
What have they called here? I'm not sure. I think they may have called Mirotic the foul by a FS player before Mirotic does anything.
So there was a takeaway by James Anderson. And it's James Anderson who has been called for the foul. That's his first.
He's called for the foul when Mirotic gets the rebound. But they're still calling him in the act of shooting.
So Mirotic looking for his first points tonight as he's gone 0 of 4 from the field, 0 of 2 from two-point territory, 0 of 2 from downtown.
But this is where he's going to have to get his game on track. He's not going to get it on the open field goal. You know, they're not going to run an offense, getting the ball one-on-one in the post and then go to work. He's going to have to get down and dirty in the paint, as he did in the semi-final. Get an offensive rebound and a stick back. Find something going to the basket.
So Nikola Mirotic opens his scoring account. 2 points in the game for him as Micic working on Brandon Davies. He's picked up his dribble. That's a tough entry pass down parallel to the lane, and Barcelona come away with it. Bolmaro feeds Kuric, now in the hands of Bolmaro once again. Davies setting screens, aggressive take down the side of the lane from Bolmaro. He draws out Bryant Dunstan to the perimeter. They go to Brandon Davies, looking to exploit the mismatch down low. Good help from Bryant Dunstan.
Wow.
Got his big mitt on the basketball, but he also must have got some forearm as well.
Yeah, he got the foul there. And that was a good double team for FS as well. Bolmaro, not the threat that somebody like Kuric would be from three, so go straight down there. And at the other end, Barcelona made the switch we said they would, put Davies on Micic, and suddenly he didn't have any path to the basket.
So Brandon Davies, Nikola Mirotic has bounced the ball off his foot. Moerman stood strong on the defensive block behind him. Larkin with the quickness, slicing to the hole and evades the shot blockers to flip it off the window. Shane Larkin with his first field goal of this final moves to 11 points in the game and gives Anadolu Efes Istanbul a 7-point lead once again, equaling their largest advantage of the night.
Well, we've said it before the game, Ron. FS have that X factor in Micic, Moerman, Larkin, Simon. They can just go to another level. Barcelona are going to have to find a way to shut these guards down.
Well, you can only presume that they are Anadolu Efes Istanbul fans who are populating the fan wall right now, because they are cheering their side on in amongst the Space Jam characters. Magnificent 4K fan wall erected here at the Lanxess Arena. That was the offensive foul committed by Corey Higgins on the take to the bucket against Shane Larkin. That bow to the chops.
Doesn't look any easier in slow motion, does it? So it's difficult one, yes. What Corey's going to say to the referee is say, look, you didn't call anything in the first half. So now you're starting to want to call this. Larkin, both ends of the floor, defensively against Higgins, and now he's got a field goal. Wow, crikey, this is a points party. Let's go, 9 from 9 at the free throw line. Interesting, we haven't had any free throws for FS yet.
So Shane Larkin leading all scorers with 11. 3 Barcelona players, Brandon Davies, Corey Higgins and Kyle Kuric have 10 apiece. Sertak Shanley has 10 for FS. That first field goal for Shane Larkin, having him lead this final in scoring. Brandon Davies with a 3.
The worrying sign for Barca is that Micic and Larkin are both starting to dictate at this end of the floor. So suddenly FS's offense is taken care of.
Larkin with the quickness, bumped as he made his way into the lane. Vasilije Micic clobbered on the 3-pointer and still able to connect, producing a head-in-the-hands moment for coach Sarunas Jatakaivicis, because Vasilije Micic has canned the long-range 3 and was still clattered to the court.
And no dispute, that's a foul. And when he caught the ball, I said, he's going to do it again. I didn't realize it was going to be a 4-point play. He had the game in the semi-final. He had that same 4-point play. He stuck with the big man on his back, and he's done it again here, and that is huge. Just as we said, Larkin and Micic are starting to control the offense for FS. They combine for a potential 4-point play. What a swing. Barcelona, anemic offensively. Meanwhile, you got weapons like these two, FS are going to be very happy.
For the second time in the Final Four here at the Lanxess Arena, Vasilije Micic completes a 4-point play. He's a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 13 points in the game to lead all scorers after hitting on his first 3-point attempt. Adrian Moerman getting down low to guard Kyle Kuric. Kyle Kuric working the dribble. Now he looks to use his quickness against Bryant Dunstan. Bryant Dunstan all over him, but he could not deny the dead-eye shooting of Kyle Kuric, the most accurate three-point marksman in the Euroleague, showing why on that tough bucket.
Wow. Wow, we're getting huge plays, both ends of the floor. Sure, I just knew it was written.
Shane Larkin makes it back-to-back three-pointers from the field for Anadolu Efes Istanbul, and they increase their advantage to 11 once again. Whistle away from the basketball as James Anderson bumps Kyle Kuric as he was cutting baseline.
Well, they're trying to keep the ball out of Kuric's hands for obvious reasons, you know, but the thing is, Larkin, Mitsic, Kuric, the big players stepping up, making buckets. So the offenses of both teams starting to wake up. We mentioned as the legs get a bit more tired, more difficult to stop the shooters. So that means the offense will open up. The problem for Barca is you're suffering an 11-point deficit right now. You've got to find a way to stop Istanbul while you are putting points up.
So approaching the midpoint of this third quarter. The third quarter where Barcelona are being doubled up 8-16. Through 4 minutes 45, but how about this man as a welcome sight and a release valve on the free throw line, the most accurate free throw shooter in the Euroleague. He's missed just twice all season coming into this game, 95% at 41 for 43 entering a final. And he maintains his perfection, 15 points in the final for Kyle Kuric. His team back to within touching distance, down by a single-digit deficit. Mitsic being shadowed by Bolmaro. He shakes him off. He offloads to Bryant Dunstan. Beautiful move on the inside and uses the window, demonstrating delicate touch around the bucket, Mr. Henlon.
Inside of a meter, Bryant Dunstan is money in the bank. That's an awesome finish.
So Kuric drawing Dunstan into his territory now, uses quickness, but he's lost the basketball. Who touched it last? It's Anadolu Efes Istanbul. It will remain Barca ball.
Right, I like about Kuric there, he knew someone's coming to try to draw the charge. Get body control. Mitsic did knock the ball away. But just 5 seconds now for Barca to get a score. Remember at halftime, Coach Adamant said we haven't had a chance to use our game plan. He's working for him now, that's for sure.
Kuric catches and shoots. Front rim on the shot. Bryant Dunstan runs down the rebound. Bryant Dunstan with his first defensive board of the game. As Larkin, the herky-jerky dribble. My goodness, what a rejection from Corey Higgins. Euro step from Leandro Bolmaro. Corey Higgins elects to slow things down after sparking this transition opportunity with that perfectly timed block. Higgins down to the dots. Moerman standing strong. That is fantastic basketball because Moerman did a brilliant job to stand in an attempt to take the charge. Corey Higgins took it strong and finished in heavy traffic.
Body control, composure, and a never say die attitude. Higgins, both ends of the floor. Higgins gets the bucket, but that block shot on Larkin, we say over and over again, Higgins is renowned for his game-winning shooting, but defensively, he's showing how outstanding he is against a red-hot Shane Larkin tonight.
So Mitsic pulls up for three over the outstretched arm of Leandro Bolmaro. Rebound picked up by Corey Higgins. Corey Higgins with his third board of the night. Modest three-point shooting successes for both teams, but the momentum in that regard with FS as Corey Higgins splits the gap between Larkin and Dunstan, does so once again, lost the basketball, got it to Kuric, wide open three, short on the shot. And that's a shot that you would normally back in to make. Look at that for battling down on the baseline from Anadolu Efes Istanbul to secure possession.
Well, Dunstan doesn't have necessarily the offensive nous, but he will dive on the floor for anything. Oh, what a crossover.
Splitting the gap for Vasilije Mitsic and slicing his way to the hole to finish with a Statue of Liberty finger roll. But the Vasilije Mitsic, 15 points in the game.
That crossover dribble, he does it over and over again. You know it's coming, you just don't know what to do about it. And look at Dunstan, look at him.
Bryant Dunstan putting his body on the line for his club, leaving skin on the hardwood in a bid to get possession of the pill.
And Ron, this is why you have different players on the team. You don't just get clones. You know, you've got Chandler brings certain things, Plyce brings other things. Dunstan brings defense and a work ethic.
Bryant Dunstan, one of three former best defenders in the Euroleague, in evidence here at the Final Four. Adam Hanger and Karl Heinz, of course. Tough pull-up J from Corey Higgins, who remains perfect from downtown. 15 points in the game to lead his team in scoring along with Kyle Kuric, and that is a big bucket. His team back to within 8. Bryant Dunstan runs down that errant pass.
That's a clumsy foul from Bolmaro. You'd love to have that play back. Got Bryant Dunstan, who's got no dribble at half court. He's back to the basket, and he just trips over himself and bang into it. But Corey Higgins, wow. Talking about strapping the whole of Catalonia on your back. It's funny, you're talking about perfect. 3 from 3 from the three-point line. The rest of the team, terrible. Give the ball to Corey, everybody else get out of the way.
Indeed.
5 of 19. You mentioned the three-point percentage, but for both teams, only marginally, but they're going up.
So Bryant Dunstan to the stripe. Rattles home the first on his first trip to the free throw line tonight.
And suddenly, Ron, does 80 points become more feasible for FS? I think it does.
Gets the shooter's roll on the second. 21 points in the quarter so far for Anadolu Efes Istanbul.
Oh, Corey Higgins.
Corey Higgins cooking from long range. 18 points in the game to lead all scorers. A perfect 4 of 4 from downtown. He's keeping his team in contention.
Yeah, he is, and he's working the two-man game with Gasol. And that's really important because Gasol can pick and pop. So you've got to stay true, which allows Higgins to get the one-on-one.
Beautiful bunny connected from the short corner from Adrian Moyamon. 6 points in the game for him, along with 6 rebounds as well.
And Mitsic, though, again, the creator. 5 assists for him now. Oh,
beautiful anticipation. Krunoslav Simone getting both hands on the basketball. Just couldn't control his body before going out of bounds.
You know, I always say, this is why you have to watch the whole game. It was like a slow burn in the first half, a defensive bump and grind. Now the game's coming to life, and you're starting to feel this is worthy of a EuroLeague championship night.
Well, Corey Higgins taking a breather. Minute and a half. Just getting some treatment for blood injury. No doubt he'll return just as soon as he is able. Kyle Kuric catches the ball at the second attempt now. Leandro Bolmaro has been bowled over.
No, it's Gasol's gone down. Gasol learned his lesson in the first half. You know, he had the illegal screen called, the sticking the arm out. He was rock solid there, and Beaubois just tried to run through him. And Pau did the right thing. Take the deck.
Rodrigue Beaubois lowering the shoulder. Pau Gasol to the free throw line.
Now, Gasol did all his damage in the semi-final in the first half. Didn't play much in the second quarter tonight. This is a savvy move by Coach Jaskevicius. He said, hold up, I've got one of the greatest big men in the history of the game. Let me keep him for the fourth quarter, the second half, see what he can do. So here he is, the dog end of the third period. He's on the floor and making an instant contribution.
1 of 2 from the free throw line for Pau Gasol. Back in a Final Four 21 years after his first appearance. No other player has gone so long between Final Four appearances in the EuroLeague. As Krunoslav Simone with a pull-up 3. Back iron on the shot. Ball falls to Adrian Moyamon. Now we've got a whistle by the sideline because Alex Abrines made contact with Rodrigue Beaubois.
Yeah, he's pleading his innocence, but there's no question it's a foul. He's a little bit off balance. Beaubois showing great composure. He knows his team's in the bonus. So let's just draw the foul and let's go shoot a free throw. They shot 22 in the first half. They've only shot 4 here in the third period. So let's try and get some action at the stripe. Been good to us so far tonight.
So both of Rodrigue Beaubois' points have come from the free throw line. He's yet to attempt a field goal in this final so far.
You know he will, though. You know he's going to take a big shot. And in the semi-finals, he had 9 points in the first half with just big buckets. Beaubois he's your late game step up. He will be on the floor. This one's close. He will be on the floor down the stretch.
So the three-pointer off the back iron. Big offensive rebound run down by Nikola Mirotic. Abrines back to Mirotic. Wow. Terrific hands from Bryant Dunstan. Made like a glue trap to just pick off that attempted pass. Beaubois from the corner, off the mark. Rebound secured by Nikola Mirotic.
Well, Mirotic not having the night we expect. Turnover there. And the thing is, he caught the ball wide open. And it's just, they've been defended so well that even when he is open, he's not sure what to do. He knows what to do with this one, though.
Standstill three after the dribble, and he connects. Could that be the catalyst to get some offense flowing for Nikola Mirotic? His first field goal of the game takes him to 5 points in the game. He's now 1 of 5 from the field, 1 of 3 from downtown. So closing seconds of the third quarter. Larkin pulls up for 3, missed everything, ball still loose. Abrines checks the clock, lead pass, poked away by Shane Larkin, who left his feet to ensure that Pau Gasol couldn't make the reception. Fantastic defensive play, and now Barca will have just 0.7 seconds to fashion a look at the bucket.
Yeah, both teams just giving everything. They're going to check the clock, and maybe a few more tenths to come back on. Tough shot for Larkin to get off. But then yeah, he's going to go probably another, I don't know, when did the ball touch the floor? This thing's not going to cross the line. Or it might give him 2 more tenths of a second. Either way, it's still catch and shoot. But a hustle from Larkin, missed the 3, then turned tail and fled down the court. Okay, he's chased down a big man, so it's not, you'd expect him to catch him up, but the pass was long over him, and he got the hustle in. But Barcelona, if they can convert something, a massive momentum giver going into the fourth period, I mean, it could come to nothing, but if they get points out of this, Barcelona will suddenly feel like, hey, we've weathered the storm, let's go to work now.
So let's see how much time has been added or not. I think it's going to be 0.8, but we'll get confirmation. And that was the deflection off the hustle play from Shane Larkin. So it's 0.9 seconds remaining in the game. 0.2 of a second, excuse me, in a quarter. 0.2 of a second have been added. Kalethis, second all time in assists, will be looking to hang one up for one of his bigs here. Nice catch beneath the bucket. How clever is that? Nikola Mirotic with 5 points in a row to close out the quarter for FC Barcelona. And he has reduced a deficit that was as large as 11 back down to 5. Now they're going to take a look to see whether he got it away in time.
Great move, even if it doesn't count. That was an awesome cut. It was like an S cut down the lane. So he's caught and he's pivoted. He hasn't hesitated. The question is, does he get off his fingertips? Watch that pivot. That's beautiful footwork.
Now, did that clock start moving on the catch?
Well, they can't change that. They can, all they can check for is whether the ball's been released when the shot. They can't say, oh, you started the shot clock too late. They want to say is, it's not so much when it starts of his fingers, when it finishes, but that pivot, is that off his fingers? And I think
as though it is.
Yes, I don't think there's any question about that bucket myself. Wow, they're waving it off.
Wow.
That looks like normal.
There is the verdict. And now the explanation being given to the Barcelona coaching staff by the crew chief, Sasha Pukul. The basket will not count.
That's why they don't give you and I whistles.
So at the end of 3 quarters of play, it is Anadolu Efes Istanbul with a 7-point lead over FC Barcelona. Well, what a period of play. Some outstanding individual plays from Vasilija Micic and Shane Larkin. The highest scoring period of the final. Efes taking it 26-22. And both Shane Larkin and Vasilija Micic making their presence felt with some daring drive to the bucket and some dead-eye shooting from deep as well.
Yeah, and the big thing for Efes is that their offense output is improving quarter after quarter. 15, 24, 26. That's what they want to see. Barcelona, they've ridden with them, end up with 22 points. That's a really positive sign from them. Bearing in mind they were down by as many as 11. But it's worrying for Barca if Efes just keeps putting up more points. If they get over 20 points in this fourth quarter, it's going to be hugely difficult for Barca to win.
So both sides doing an outstanding job from the free throw line. Barcelona improving their three-point percentage. Corey Higgins chiefly responsible for that. A perfect 4 of 4 from the three-point line. And unsurprisingly, it is Corey Higgins who is the outstanding performer of quarter number 3. 11 points in the game on dead-eye shooting from deep. Picked up a blood injury in the closing stages of the third, and now no doubt saving him to make another appearance in crunch time, by which time Barcelona hope they will be ahead or at least in contention in a bid to set him up for more late-game heroics. Efes, of course, will have something to say about that, and it has all come down to the final 10 minutes.
Well, of course, you know, Ron, the longer this game goes on, the more the tactics of the coaches come to the play. That's when you have to start to see where they earn their corn. What plays have they got? You talk about the court time, the minutes. You've got to manage the playing time of the likes of Vasilija Micic. He played 36 minutes just 48 hours ago. How many minutes has he played so far tonight? 25. So he's not going to play this whole period. He's going to start the fourth quarter on the bench. This is where the coaches now become almost like the sixth man on the floor, because they've got to pull the strings and call the offense and adjust their defense. This game is filled with intrigue. And what a culmination to a remarkable season we're having.
So it's Balmaro, Brines, Kuric, Mirotic, and Gasol, the 5 to start the final quarter as Pau Gasol lets fly from downtown. Good look at the basket. Fantastic offensive rebound by Leandro Balmaro. Vasilija Micic going to ground again, but commits the foul in trying to retrieve the basketball.
Well, he certainly doesn't look like he's losing any energy right there. Nice to see the positive offensive start by Barcelona, not hesitating, not thinking about it. Here's what we've drawn them, here's what we're going to do. Gasol confidently shooting the 3. Keeps the defense on its heels, even if you miss the shot.
The minds of those two men will be constantly working, making adjustments, keeping track of the number of fouls, in communication with their associate coaches. Back on the court is Balmaro handling the rock. Moerman hedges out to help. Mirotic with a strong drive down the lane. Bowls into Sertak Shanli. Now that is foul number 4 on Sertak Shanli, who thought he got himself positioned above the defensive halo.
He was moving sideways. What I like about this, you see, I like the explosive move for Mirotic, who's had a relatively quiet game for him. But now he's made that 3-point shot. He's got the layup, even though it didn't count at the end of the period. And now he catches it and he goes straight to work, doesn't hesitate.
So Sertak Shanli called for his 4th foul. Only player with 4 fouls to this point. So Nikola Mirotic missing his first attempt.
Well, here's the thing, if you're Coach Adamant, I think you probably roll the dice and leave him out there. Because Dunstan, you know, gives you the defense and the hustle. I don't think Pleiss is coming back. Well, that's going to count as 2. They might give him 2. They are.
And there's confirmation.
That's 2 points there. Mormon trying to knock the ball off the rim. That's the risk you take. If you touch the ball, it becomes a field goal, not a free throw. And suddenly, just a little momentum swinger.
So it's Larkin, Mitsic, Simone, Moimor, and Sertac Shanley. The 5 to begin the fourth quarter for Anadolu Efes Istanbul. Shanley on the court with 4 fouls. Larkin looking for the roller. Shanley for 3. Back iron on the shot. Rebound, Alex Abrines.
Yeah, well contested on that jump shot. I think it's Gasol, was it indeed, who stepped out and challenged it. Forced Chandler to rush the shot a little bit.
Terrific use of the screen from Leandro Balmaro, who hits the jump shot at the free throw line.
And suddenly the momentum, the pendulum swings again.
Strong start to this fourth quarter by FC Barcelona. 4 points without reply to bring themselves back to within a single score. They are down by 3. So Mitsic being defended by Claver. Mitsic will fancy this matchup in terms of mobility, but he's used his dribble, gets it back immediately. Claver remaining in front of Mitsic and commits the foul as Mitsic goes to ground after that contact.
Well, the offense of Efes is revolving in the third period around Mitsic and Larkin off the dribble. They're getting themselves into the bonus. So even though there's no basket coming there, they're looking to draw fouls. They want to get to that free throw line.
So Claver looking to force Mitsic left. Larkin catches. Balmaro being active in front of him. Drive, dish, Shanley up strong, denied! A terrific takeaway by Pau Gasol to rub out that dunk attempt by Sertac Shanley. A momentum-changing play produced by the Barcelona big. Deflected into the hands of Shane Larkin from the active hands of Vasilija Mitsic.
Well, that's what he brought Gasol in for, those game-changing moments that he can do. Chandler, for all the world, thought he was about to dunk on one of the greats. Instead, he's going to be on, insert the name of suitable social media highlight reel, getting rejected. The play was perfect. Larkin gets in the paint. Chandler told, not tonight, Josephine. And the thing is, Gasol didn't stop to celebrate. He keeps going, he gets the block, then he saves the ball to his teammate.
So inbounded by Shane Larkin from the sideline. Singleton rotates it to Krinislav Simone. Simone gets to the edge of the lane, go to that familiar one-legged floater.
That's the matchup Efes wanted as well.
Rebound by Pai Gasalu.
Courage.
Looks as though he was poked in the eye as he gathered that rebound, but he's able to make his way down to join his teammates at the offensive end. Straight into the hands of Krinislav Simone from Nick Kalathis, who was looking for Gasol on the screen and roll. Singleton, not looking to be a threat, rotates it to Mitsic. He's picked up by Pau Gasol. Mitsic backs up to give himself running room, being forced right into the help D. Shanley for 3, back iron on the shot once again. Sertac Shanley remains 0 for from downtown on his 3 attempts tonight.
And again, Gasol just challenging the shot, under control.
Kalathis down into the post. Quick footwork and clearing house, but what a block from Chris Singleton, who kept his balance magnificently when he was buffeted by Nikola Mirotic and then rose up high to time his leap to perfection to take away that field goal attempt.
Well, this is where credit to Coach Adaman. Subtle change, sits Moman down, puts Singleton in, who gives a different look to Mirotic. Mirotic made a great move. The footwork normally steps through, but then Singleton, and that's that quick swap. If he just tries to raise up, he would have drawn contact, but what he did was he got him at the peak of his jump, just taps it away.
So Nick Kalathis joins Sertac Shanley as players in this final on 4 fouls, both men remaining out on the court.
Long way to go in this one, Ron, but you feel, I don't want either one of these teams to lose.
Hung up for Sertac Shanley, who rocks the rim off the perfectly placed alley-oop feed from Shane Larkin.
Well, Shane Larkin hardly knew he was in the game in the semi-final, but tonight he has been front and center. What a dime.
Took practically 3 minutes for FS to find their first score of the final quarter. Brandon Davies catches in traffic, kicks to the perimeter, front rim on the shot. A.EFES with the offensive board, and it's Mirotic who runs it down, keeps his dribble, kicks to Brandon Davies, fakes the shot, elects to slow things down. Sertak Shanley remaining flat-footed in the low post. Deep into the shot clock now. Brandon Davies spinning away. It's a thicket of hands and forearms. Now, does that basket count? He certainly beat the shot clock buzzer, did Brandon Davies, and it was Nikola Mirotic whose activity has been rewarded on the offensive glass. His 4th offensive rebound of the night takes him to 9 points in the game, and we have a one-possession affair once again.
Just persistence coming through. You said to me before, you love Barcelona's fight. And they've shown it, but Larkin, he's chosen tonight to remind us of just what a top quality player he is.
Well, we've mentioned previously just how Shane Larkin seems to find extra motivation. We've got a whistle on the play, on the drive and dish. But the extra motivation Shane Larkin seems to find against FC Barcelona. Since the 18-19 season, he and Vasilij Micic have been among the chief tormentors of FC Barcelona when their teams match up, as we see the drive to the bucket and then using the rim to protect the basketball to get the reverse layup to go.
And we have to mention this again. You know, in the semi-final, A.EFES were talking about revenge factor against CSKA because they lost the last Final Four championship game. But now they're here in the final. They've got unfinished business because when the season ended last time, they felt like they were champions-elect.
Well, Brandon Davies hits on the three-pointer to bring his team back to within 2. His first three-pointer of the night takes him to 13 points in the game, and he surpasses the milestone of 1,500 points in his Euroleague career. Sertak Shanley with a strong take down the lane, got a good look at the basket, but just couldn't find the finish. So Balmaro being loosely guarded by Larkin. Mirotic with the shovel pass into the chest of Higgins. Beaubois loosely defending. Brandon Davies having just hit that three-pointer into the lane. Look at the contact between he and Shanley. Shanley playing with 4 fouls, and the offload to the waiting Nikola Mirotic. Sees him score the flip shot on the inside to tie things up at 69 points apiece. Momentum is a difficult thing to define, but there is little doubt that it lies with FC Barcelona through this passage of play. We are all square in the 4th quarter of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship game. Timeout on the floor. It is 69 points apiece.
Hey, when we make the show up for the players, when they jump the ball, run and jump. If you attack, we will play inside. Chicken out, that, run.
So there's confirmation that Brandon Davies did indeed score a three-pointer. And we've talked about his activity right from the opening tip. That three-pointer took him to 13 points in the game. He has got 9 rebounds, 1 shy of a double-double. 4 of those boards coming at the offensive end. Let's see if we can listen in.
Micic on the game. Good, Roddy. Go. Let's play. Horse forward, but if there is no shot, careful. Right ball, check to your shot or right option. Okay. Don't worry to the first option. Okay, if there is no first option, let's second.
Well, what an emotional encounter this has been so far as we take a look at some of the high-mo images that have been captured during the course of this final. And for as outstanding as Anadolu Efes Istanbul have been offensively in the playoffs, in the semi-final against CSKA Moscow, managing late-game leads has proved to be something of a problem. That's why they were forced to a 5-game decider against Real Madrid when they were leading big in the closing stages.
It's been a problem for them closing out games, and their offense has disappeared here in the 4th quarter.
being outscored 11-4 in this stanza so far as Micic fires the three and connects. The ball didn't leave his hands and he created his own shot. Vasilije Micic moves to 18 points in the game to give his team breathing room. They lead by 3. So Davies offloads to Bolmaro.
Oh, beautiful.
Bolmaro with the handle, back iron on the layup attempt. Brandon Davies secures a double-double in the championship game as he snares his 5th offensive rebound of the night.
That's great rebounding by Davies, but the crossover move from Bolmaro showing the confidence to go to the rack.
We take another look at the pull-up 3 from Vasilije Micic and put his team up by 3 to break the deadlock. Higgins, who's a perfect 4 of 4 from downtown in his 18-point haul, slices into the lane, gets the bucket, and will look to fashion 3 the old-school way. 20 points in the championship game for Corey Higgins. A terrific take to the rack against the all-time leading shot blocker in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague.
He has been simply magnificent tonight. When his team couldn't score any points, he has been perfect from the three-point line. When the game is tight down the stretch, he draws the foul on the way to the cup.
So Corey Higgins completes the three-point play.
Wow.
Perfect from the free throw line, and we are all square, 72 points apiece, and we are in crunch time. Less than 4 minutes to play here at the Lanxess Arena. Shane Larkin being pursued by Bolmaro. Bryant Dunston sets a big screen. What a take to the rack! Shane Larkin with an incredible finish, demonstrating his quickness, his hops, his toughness, and his finishing ability. Buffeted like a pinball as he made his way through the paint, but still able to kiss it off the window and get the bucket to go.
My word, what a play. Both ends of the floor. First Higgins, now Larkin. These guys know what this means, and where others would quake and hide in the corner, the stars are coming out and shining brighter and brighter as this game goes on.
Well, there's confirmation of the double-double for Brandon Davies. 5 boards at each end of the floor. But again, even that outstanding statistical contribution doesn't begin to tell the story of how he has delivered for his team tonight. Shane Larkin, 10 out of 10 from the free throw line as he completes the three-point play. 19 points in the game for him.
Only his first free throw in the second half. That should, again, Barcelona, credit them, they've turned up the heat defensively in this 4th period.
So Leandro Bolmaro picked up by Vasilije Micic. Corey Higgins squaring up against Shane Larkin, keeping the dribble alive. Offloads to Davies. Davies sets an effective screen. Ball rotated to Kuric, who checks the shot clock. Davies and Dunston, one-on-one in the lane, chicken wing. Oh, that's a tough bucket. My goodness. Brian Davies, one of the strongest defenders in the EuroLeague. Brian Dunston, one of the strongest defenders in the EuroLeague, but Brandon Davies going to work on the block.
That's a heck of a move. Davies, we know, wants to foul, so he normally goes for the head fake, but he confidently goes with the jump hook.
Singleton, fade away. Jay, that is a big basket. Chris Singleton with his first field goal of the game against his former club, leaning back, high-arcing Jay, bottom.
Composure or what? Crunch time in the game, and he's just like, nope, I'm just going to wait and get the right angle.
Taken away, Chris Singleton on a break. Corey Higgins back as the safety. Shane Larkin working the dribble against Higgins. They rotate to Micic. Micic splits the gap, slices to the bucket, and his contortion in evidence once again. Timeout on the floor. Vasilije Micic, 20 points in the game. 5 of 9 shooting from 2-point territory. Another outstanding finish under heavy duress.
Well, Barcelona had put the locks on EFES to start this 4th period, but suddenly Larkin and Micic, the 1-2 punch, taking it in turns. That bucket there, again, the crossover drill from Micic, splitting the defense and then extending over Davies with a beautiful layup.
So it's incredibly tight in this 4th quarter. 16-14 in favor of Barcelona. As we take a look at the 7 days magic moment in this Euroleague final championship game, and it comes at the defensive end. Pau Gasol back in the Final Four, 21 years after his first appearance here at this Final Four stage, rising high to take away the dunk attempt of Sertak Shanley down on the baseline. And just look at that skyscraper for both teams. It was FC Barcelona who got themselves out to a lead that grew to a double-digit margin at 25 points to 15 at the start of the second quarter. But since that time, EFES battled back, outscoring Barcelona by 10 in the second quarter, 24-14. They've led by a double-digit margin as well, having been up by 11 on a few occasions. 5-point game right now, back iron on the shot, ball is loose, and James Anderson secures the board.
Well, I'll tell you what Coach Ataman has done. We're talking about the coaching changes. He's put his front line rebound warriors on the floor. Anderson, Dunston, Singleton. They're not giving up any offensive boards down the stretch.
Singleton gives it straight back to Larkin, then comes to set a screen, and now it's Larkin against Mirotic, crosses him up, gets beneath the free throw line, offload is too hot for Singleton to handle. They beat the shot clock buzzer, but the shot doesn't fall. Anderson was handed a hot potato there, got a good shot away, just couldn't find the finish.
Well, you got the defense on the floor, but offensively you struggle with those three. That front line there is not going to get you a whole bunch of points, not at this point of the game. But you've got Mitsic and Larkin. And this is just so tight, so much pressure. The ball in the hands of the players that both teams want. Higgins at the one end for Barcelona, Larkin and Mitsic for EFES. The question now is which one can convert free throws the rest of the way for either team if they get fouled.
So, less than 2 minutes to play. EFES in the penalty. And Corey Higgins remains perfect from the free throw line. 6 out of 6 tonight in his 22-point total to lead all scorers.
When you contrast the shooting percentages of the teams, this performance from Higgins is even more impressive.
So Corey Higgins moves to 23 points in the game, approaching his career high of 27. And what a stage on which to do it, but I'm sure he would trade all those individual numbers to hoist the Euroleague trophy for the 3rd time in his career. Deep into the shot clock for EFES. It's a one-possession game as Mitsic, his geometric wizardry continues, slicing his way down the lane and getting that flip shot from beneath the bucket to go.
That's a remarkable finish, Ron, because he's gone up, and for the whole world, it looks like he's going to lay with his left, but then he kind of just flips across and then changes hands in the air. Look, that's a left-handed layup. Then he switches because his leg is set for the left, but he rides the defense and gets it away with his right and gets the deuce.
Vasilija Mitsic with 22 points and 5 assists. He's playing with 4 fouls. Higgins. Brandon Davies looking for another 3. It's off the front rim. Krinoslav Simone with a big rebound, and the Anadolu EFES bench up on their feet because they are edging closer to championship glory here at the Lanxess Arena.
Well, they can taste it now. Brian Dunston with the contested jump shot, stopping Davies getting the score, and then, oh, wow.
Mitsic went for a Hollywood highlight reel assist. Kyle Kuric down the other end, couldn't get it to go, and it's EFES who have possession. And now we'll look to work the clock. They are up by 5. It's a 2-possession affair. Shane Larkin uses his quickness, offloads to Singleton. Singleton puts it over the backboard, and that's because he was fouled by Brandon Davies.
Well, all that contact, and it's a blocking foul that's going to get called. Well, if you're Barcelona, Kuric is laid, but the other end, you feel like that might have been last chance saloon. Higgins, it looked like he took like half an arm off, but instead they called a blocking foul. I mean, you still end up with free throws, but
that puts Brandon Davies on 4.
So the block is on Davies, trying to draw a charge on Larkin. Wow, that's a tough one, because to my mind, there's no question it took at least, well, oh, his foot's in the circle. That's probably where the block comes from. But the easiest foul to call was going to be Higgins breaking the arms of Chris Singleton, but you won the charge. Okay, fair enough.
So that puts Brandon Davies on 4 fouls. It's a trip to the free throw line.
Well, the interesting, important thing is that by calling the block, it's Larkin who goes to the free throw line, who's 10 from 10, as opposed to Singleton. Well, he's 2 from 2, but you know, he hasn't had as much practice tonight as Shane Larkin has.
So just over 8 seconds the difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Anadolu Efes Istanbul looking to build on what is currently a 5-point lead. Both of these free throws would make it a 3-score game in the waning seconds of regulation here at the Lanxess Arena.
Yeah, difficult times, even if he misses both, which is highly unlikely. Barcelona gonna have something magical happen. And it's this second one that makes a difference. 6 points down, that's 2 triples. Down by 7, that means you're in foul territory, and you gotta have buckets dropping all over the place and quickly.
So Shane Larkin makes both free throws to move to 21 points in the game. A perfect dozen from the stripe. Kyle Kuric for 3 off right. Rebound Leandro Bolmaro. Nikola Mirotic takes the corner 3. That's off the mark. Tipped home with a terrific offensive stick back. Brandon Davies, who else, moves to 11 rebounds in the game, but they are still down by 5.
Well, great composure there from FS. Didn't panic after the made bucket. Made sure they got the ball in bounds and then got the ball back into the hands of the right man, in this case, Vasilije Micic, the MVP, to shoot the free throws to close out a championship.
And having been called for that block on the previous trip down the floor, Brandon Davies has committed his 5th foul. He'll take no further part in the waning seconds of this final, but what an effort he has put forth for his club tonight, right from the opening tip, full of energy, intelligence, intensity. 17 points, 11 rebounds, a steal as well, along with 2 assists. A terrific performance by Brandon Davies. He has fouled out in the closing stages of this final.
And FS, who looked like they were in trouble when they'd only scored 4 points at the start of the 4th quarter, pulled their offense together down the stretch, and they've got over that magic number. They've got over 80, and they can almost taste it.
Well, Anadolu Efes Istanbul have scored at least 80 23 times this season, including Friday night semi-final against CSKA. This makes it 24. And they are unstoppable when they surpass that figure, and that is what is going to transpire here tonight. Anadolu Efes Istanbul, they'll remain concentrated, but just beginning to allow themselves to celebrate a little bit. They're up by 6 with just under 14 seconds to play here at the Lanxess Arena. Barcelona need a miracle.
Well, they call the timeout so they can advance the ball to the front court. They need one quick, a quick 3-point shot. Then you're looking for a steal. If you don't get the steal, you foul right away. And these 14 seconds could take an awful lot of time, and how they would sorely love to have that man in the game right now. But you've seen tonight, he just hasn't got the mobility. He hasn't got the power.
In between Nico and here, okay? Nico goes into the corner, Corey clears. Come back, Kyle, all right? Or here, if you don't have it, go take one dribble and pump it. They will jump, okay? Let's go.
The one thing that, if I'm Barcelona here, is it doesn't hurt to draw fouls, because obviously FS do not want them to shoot threes. So if you can get fouled in the act of shooting, and so you can score points with the clock not running down, you know, it's a very slender chance of getting back into this one, but that's what he's looking at. He's got his 3 shooters out there. It's Mirotic, Higgins, and Kuric. Kuric is his prime option.
So it's Bolmaro looking to inbound. Corey Higgins cutting. Bolmaro needs a receiver. It's Kyle Kuric. Squares up, fires. He's fouled on a three-pointer. Bryant Dunstan. Why on earth would one of the most experienced men on the floor make that play?
Exactly what Barcelona wanted. You foul us in the act of a three-point shot. Once he's got it and he's got that space, you got to let him go. Even though every bone in your body's saying you don't want it to happen, you've got to try and contest it. You are begging the referee to make that call.
Oh, Kyle Kuric, the most accurate free throw shooter in the Euroleague this campaign. He's a perfect 6 out of 6 from the stripe tonight.
When he makes all of these, then there is pressure on FS, big time pressure, because they're going to get fouled.
Then they have to make their free throws.
So, and I know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to foul the worst free throw shooter on the floor.
So Kyle Kuric's consistency from the free throw line makes this a one-score game, just 12 seconds remaining, and having looked dead and buried, they are suddenly right back into it, trailing by just 3.
We have ball there. Bruno, you make the sideline. That Brian is out. Chris, you there. You there like this. Okay. Roddy, you are there. Shane is there. Micic is there. Got it. You curl like this. Here. Okay. Then Shane, you try to give the ball to Shane. Then Chris, you don't pass. You never pass. Then you go to pick to Micic. Micic comes down. Read for the pass. Okay. Like keep the ball.
So, having been up by 6, with around 14 seconds to go, a foul committed on a three-point shooter saw FC Barcelona make all 3 foul shots to turn this into a one-score game. Anadolu Efes Istanbul up by 3. They are inbounding the ball in the front court. It's Krunoslav Simone who has that responsibility. So Rodrigue Boubois cutting, he comes near the sideline. Shane Larkin picks up the basketball, working the dribble, extending to pick that pass off was Nikola Mirotic. Just couldn't extend enough, but he got close.
That was close, so close. And the composure from Larkin to have the nerve to throw the pass to Micic as well. Both teams, as I've said it already, neither team deserves to lose this game. They've both been simply fantastic tonight. But now the pressure is still on. Big time for FS.
Vasilije Micic went 1 of 2 on his previous trip to the free throw line. 23 points in the game tonight, 5 of 6 from the stripe.
Realistically, he needs 1. For him, ideally the first.
And he strings it. So now it is a 2-score game with just 7.3 seconds remaining.
Barcelona out of timeouts, so they're going to have to get the ball the full length of the court.
So Vasilije Micic, perfect on that trip to the stripe. Corey Higgins has received it. FS do not want to foul. Corey Higgins pulls up, backhand on the shot, and that'll do it. The final buzzer sounds here at the Lanxess Arena, and Anadolu Efes Istanbul fulfill their championship destiny. They are the 2021 Turkish Airlines Euroleague champions, runners-up in 2019, the standings leaders in 2020 when the regular season was curtailed due to COVID-19, and now in 2021, the indomitable spirit of FS sees them ascend to the summit of European club basketball to claim the continental crown. For the first time in their long distinguished history, Anadolu Efes Istanbul are the Euroleague champions. And just look at what it means to the players. Heartbreak for Barcelona and coach Sarunas Jasikevičius. And let's pay tribute to the contribution Barcelona have made to this final. A back and forth heavyweight affair worthy of the championship stage here at the Lanxess Arena. Coach Ergin Ataman, absolutely ecstatic, as are his club, his coaching staff. Bitter disappointment for FC Barcelona. But Anadolu Efes Istanbul continue their recent run of success against FC Barcelona to come away with Continental Club Basketball's greatest prize. Anadolu Efes Istanbul will hoist aloft the Turkish Airlines Euroleague trophy for the first time in their history.
Only the second Turkish club to win the championship as well, Ron. I mean, this is massive, not only for the club, but for a whole nation. As you rightly said, hats off to Barcelona, not just for tonight, but for the whole season. They have been simply remarkable.
So the final score after 4 pulsating, punishing quarters of basketball here at the Lanxess Arena. FC Barcelona 81, Anadolu Efes Istanbul 86. And tonight's Adidas player of the game is actually players of the game, because the backcourt brilliant duo of Shane Larkin and Vasilije Micic will share player of the game honors here tonight. They were absolutely sensational, providing what their club needed when they needed it, be it points in the paint, dead-eye shooting from downtown, or dishes. Vasilije Micic and Shane Larkin providing what EFES required. Let's hear from them now.
Hey, I'm trying to get both of y'all. Vasilije, come on, man. Vaso, come on, man. Get over here. Hey. Hey, let me, hey. It's like a double player of the game right here, man. The two, where were y'all in the first quarter, in the first half?
We had to save it. We know we were gonna play a lot of minutes today. He played 35 the other night, so we know we had to save a little energy to the end because we knew it was gonna be a close game. But oh man, 3 long years. 3 long years, man.
You told me the other day that you were exhausted, man. That you had no more left in the tank. Where'd you get all the energy tonight in the second half?
It's hard to sound smart now, but honestly, from that game, I really learned that I have to save something till the end of the game, because really I made so many mistakes because of tiredness. Sounds like an excuse, but it was like that. But today, I think I played smarter. He helped me so much with keeping us alive in the first half and together in the second half. With all of them, I don't want to mention only us. Hey, congrats to all of them. I'm very happy.
2 years ago, y'all dominated the league and lost in the final. Last year, y'all dominated the league and got it shut down. Yeah. This is called justification, isn't it?
It's called justification. Back-to-back MVPs, too. You already know what it is.
Hey, man, the two of you are the dynamic duo. Ain't no doubt about it. Congratulations to both of you guys, man.
Thank you.
Great game.
I'm so happy that
Well, we have just witnessed a wonderful exchange between those backcourt teammates, Shane Larkin and Vasilije Micic, at the moment of confirmation. Joint MVPs in this championship game. And my goodness, didn't they anchor their club magnificently tonight? We know that the backcourt is the strength of EFES, and those two men answered the call in the hour of need.
Well, everybody saw it coming, and they still delivered on it.
Let's hear from Coach Ergin Ataman.
Hey, Coach, take that serious look off your face, man. Come on, break that smile for me for once.
I'm not serious for this. I will talk in Turkish. Sözümüzde durduk. Bütün Türkiye bizi seyrediyorsunuz biliyorum. Sözümüzde durduk. Herkese, Türk halkına armağan olsun. Tüm Türk şehitlerimize, herkese armağan olsun. Kazanacağız dedik. Aldık bu kupayı.
Coach, you did it, man. You did it. It's been a long road for you.
2 years.
You've won just
2
about
years. We deserve about this. We talked that we can make it. We did it. I'm proud of my players. We never give up. We never give up.
I saw you at one point in the game look like you were playing better defense than Larkin and Micic. No. Man, you were running around. I was like,
we start the game with a lot of stress. We made a lot of mistakes, but then we found our rhythm. So I told in the press conference, Shane Larkin is the best, one of the best player, and this is his time with Micic. Congratulations to all of my guy, but everybody saw that also. Larkin, maybe he missed the game in the semi-final, but today he won the game with Micic. Excellent. I'm proud of my
Coach,
players.
Last question. I want you to go with your team. I don't feel like you won this year's championship. I feel like you've won for the last 3 years.
This is 2 championships in a row, last year and this year. Now I will tell Jordi to give me 2 cups. 2 cups I need from last year and from this year.
Get over there, get over there. Get over there and enjoy yourself, Coach.
Well, a wonderful moment for Coach Ergin Ataman, celebrating with his players. He becomes the first Turkish-born coach to hoist the trophy aloft as the winning sideline strategist. Fantastic performance by him and his club. Coach Ergin Ataman, the chief architect of what has been a remarkable transformation. Because remember, we talked about their recent run of dominance over the past 3 years, Martin. In 2018, they finished the regular season rock bottom of the standings. So it has been a real rags to riches tale in recent years for Anadolu Efes Istanbul. Astute coaching from Coach Ergin Ataman. Outstanding player recruitment, and then terrific togetherness, sticking together through thick and thin.
Yeah, and the big thing is, at the end of last season, normally it's the change that makes the difference. They didn't change. They stayed the same squad. So everyone knew what was coming, and they came back and they did it again.
Barcelona.
Well, the other thing I'll add to you, Ron, is, you know, we were talking earlier on about the third place game. Milan go from 15th place to get to the Final Four and to come up third. FS go from rock bottom, last in the Euroleague. 3 years later, they are the champion, and they had the agenda. They said, this is unfinished business. The season got stopped short. They said, we're going to come back, and they didn't add a single player.
FC Barcelona.
So Andreas Walter, the deputy mayor of Cologne, presenting Pierre Oriola with the runners-up trophy. Something to mark their outstanding campaign, which culminated in a second-place finish after being vanquished in the final. Well, there is Euroleague CEO Jordi Bertomeu.
Who has been chosen by the accredited media as the most valuable player of this 2021 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four in Cologne. And the MVP of the 2021 Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four is Vasily Micic, number 22 of Anadolu Efes Istanbul.
What a wonderful campaign for Vasily Micic after being crowned as the regular season MVP during the Final Four festivities here in Cologne. He has capped that by being named as the Final Four MVP, leading his club in so many ways, both in terms of statistics and what he did on the court, but also in terms of the intangibles, the pace and the energy and the intensity that he provided to his team.
1,000,000 miles from the Smiles and Miles program of Turkish Airlines. Please, Vasily. Vasily, would you come please to receive your check for 1,000,000 miles. 1,000,000 miles on Turkish Airlines that will allow you to go well around the world. Congratulations to Vasily Micic.
Well, what a wonderful moment for Vasily Micic. 1,000,000 miles from the Turkish Airlines Miles and Smiles program. Remember, his sister made an appearance in that congratulatory video when he was named the regular season MVP. So too his mother and father. Those miles are going to provide the foundation for a fantastic family trip somewhere, anywhere in the world, several times over. Vasily Micic.
You know they got flights to space now you can go on. SpaceX has got a little trip to the moon.
So there is one of the Anadolu Efes Istanbul captains, Dosh Balbay, receiving his individual EuroLeague Championship trophy Adrian Moyamont, one of the men who used to suit up for Barcelona, played for them in the 2017-18 season. Bryant Dunstan, former two-time Euroleague best defender. All-time leading shot blocker, coming up with some magnificent hustle plays during the course of that final.
Well, we said the role players, the players who didn't perform and didn't play a lot on Friday. Even Coach Adamant said about Larkin, said he was missing in action on Friday in the semi-final, but I knew he would come through tonight. And that's what they had. Everybody who stepped on the floor contributed, and against all odds, against a Barcelona team that was simply fantastic all season long. They came up with the goods, and the weapons they had in Larkin and Mitsic just kept putting points on the board.
So the individual trophies continue to be received by Anadolu Efes Istanbul. And remember, when they came up short against CSKA Moscow at Vitoria Gasteiz in 2019, 11 of that squad are still suiting up for Anadolu Efes Istanbul. Brock Motum has been replaced by Chris Singleton, so all of these men know what it was like. The majority of these men know what it's like to get so close only to fall short at the final hurdle. But tonight, they have triumphed.
And you look at the way teams have progressed. Barcelona, massive changes, bringing in Calates, that sort of development of the squad. Milan picking up Hines, and it's the change that keeps the team fresh. But Efes bucked the trend and said, no, we're going to stay pat. We're going to keep the same unit. And they've come up with the ultimate reward. We feel rotten for Barcelona right now, but this team is coming back. They'll load up. Just shows how difficult it is to win the ultimate crown, the Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship. 41 games. Get a pretty good trophy at the end, though.
It is a magnificent trophy indeed. The Turkish Airlines Euroleague Championship prize. That'll be handed over in just a few moments' time. That magnificent trophy, an amalgamation of artistry and artisanship, a twinning of tradition and technology. Shining steel, tempered in the fire of the blast furnace. Jordi Bertomeu presents the championship trophy to the captain of Anadolu Efes Istanbul. What a moment for Dosh Balbay.
Number 4.
And Anadolu Efes Istanbul are the 2021 Turkish Airlines Euroleague champions.
Turkish Airlines Euroleague.
Ticker tape descending from the rafters of the Lanxess Arena here in Cologne. And a resounding rendition of that familiar anthem that accompanies championship-winning moments. Absolute jubilation etched all over the faces of the winning side from Anadolu Efes Istanbul. The 2021 champions of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague come from the Turkish metropolis. They join FC Barcelona, they join Fenerbahçe Beko Istanbul as Turkish teams to win Continental Club Basketball's greatest prize. And each one of these players will want to get intimate with that trophy, even for just a brief moment.
And they say, as exciting as it is now, this is something that, as it sinks in over time, you'll realize that they have got something that can never be taken away.
Well, Shane Larkin produced a championship final record in terms of scoring in the Final Four era when he dropped 29 points against CSKA Moscow in that losing effort. Tonight, he has posted 21, and he has come